What's going on, everybody? Who we 186 back again with the Overrated Podcast, episode 116, part 2. I am Who 186, and with me is Traditionalist 101. What's going on, man?
So, Traditionalist 101 is here. Holding on to tradition is the best thing for all people. And I want to also say that, very, very crazy and intense podcast we did yesterday. Very enjoyable, very enjoyable. It did get heated, a lot of back and forth. Got some good positive feedback, from people in the Discord, people outside of the Discord. Really, really good stuff. And like I always promised. Well, I know it always annoys Hoovy 186 here, but I had more feedback, from people asking when are we going to have multiple podcasts a week. And as I always said, every single time when someone new suggests that to me and gives me good feedback, I always said that whenever that happens, I'm going to address it. So I have to address it again. Guys, I appreciate that you want us to do more. I've told Hoovy 186 here, it's actually a very good problem to have. And the fact that I'm constantly getting, not I shouldn't say constantly, but over time, people are asking, why you only do a podcast once a week? Well, it's not because I want to do a podcast once a week. I have my partner over here who believes that once a week is sufficient, and that is enough. Now, again, the only reason why we're doing 2 podcasts this week is because we couldn't finish the podcast yesterday. So there are times where we will have multiple podcasts per week, whether if it's we couldn't finish or because malfunction issues and then we couldn't complete it, or just like huge breaking news, whether if it's sports related or if it's gaming related. So like if it's something like really huge, then we'll have like a emergency type of podcast and whatnot. But having no, am I right and accurate from everything I just said
About what? What did you say?
about why we don't have multiple podcasts a week?
Yeah, because I don't feel like doing 2 podcasts a week.
Okay,
That's simple.
yeah, for those of you that that constant, well, not, I keep saying constant, but for those of you that ask me over and over why we don't, that's the reason why. Like so you so the thing is, go to Hoovy 186. Like don't come to me. Go to Hoovy 186. So for those of you who's watching right now, or for those of you that will probably watch the podcast later this week or whenever, talk to Hoovy 186 about this. Talk to him. Like don't talk to me. I am for it. Talk to him about it. And the reason why I'm even talking about this now is because I put this in the WhatsApp. We have another group chat. I put it in the WhatsApp just to have Hoovy see and hear that people are asking for this. So go ahead, Havino. Go ahead with your attitude, even though you should remain positive.
It's not attitude. I don't feel like doing 2 podcasts a week. I don't. At the time, I worked 5 days a week, and I'm not spending 2 days a week of my day off doing a podcast. I'm just not interested. I appreciate the feedback, but I'm not going to be dictated to about what I should do with the podcast. It's that simple. It's not something that I'm like, oh well, I like the feedback. But
I don't think you don't, because you always seem to get annoyed whenever it's being talked about. Yes, absolutely. Yep.
No. Yeah. But here's the thing. It's one thing to get feedback. It's another thing for people to tell you how to do your content. And I'm not in favor of that. I don't mind suggestions. I don't even mind criticism. But I don't need people telling me what to do with my own content. Okay, I like the fact that people want us to do more than one podcast a week. But let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
You how many jobs do you have currently?
2.
Okay, so you're telling me that I'm all for having doing 2 shows a week. You have two jobs.
I'm all for doing. I'm all for doing. Even more than 2 if it's possible. But I know, but I
For
know,
what
but I know,
reason?
but I know for a
For what
fact that
reason?
you're not wanting to do that.
For what reason?
For one, because it is something that I actually enjoy. It's not a chore to me. Maybe it's a chore to you, but it's not a chore to me. So when I enjoy doing this stuff, and 2, there's always something going on because mind you, we don't just do sports. We also do sports and games. A lot of people when they talk about a particular when they're doing their podcast, it usually sticks to one thing. I mean, you have some people that talk about multiple stuff, like geeks and gamers. Like I don't know if you heard of them. The geeks and gamers, they do similar to what we do, but they talk about sports, video games, and politics, right? But we do sports and games, so there's always something going on, between the two. You know what I'm saying? So for one, I enjoy it, and 2, the fact that it's on demand. Yeah, it would definitely be nice, to respond, to that type of demand.
And I'm telling you is that I have a life outside of the podcast.
As
And I'm
everybody
going to
else
live.
does.
That's fine, but I'm going to live my life outside of that podcast. My life doesn't revolve around the podcast. It doesn't. It don't make me money, so I'm not doing 2, 3, 4, 5 podcasts a week. I'm not doing that. I don't care what other podcasters do. I'm not doing that. And besides, I don't like you said there's always something to talk about. I don't want to talk about everything. Like legitimately, let me ask you a question. Today, what can we talk about today? That would be interesting. It
Uh,
happened today.
that happened today.
Today.
Let's see. I think Microsoft has another huge list of games that they're getting rid of. The situation with didn't something happen with the PlayStation Plus with the server? No, no, I think that was last week where people was asking for. Was that last week? Where people was asking for like ransom from Sony. Like these hackers was asking like ransom from Sony. Oh, we have your account, blah 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 blah. I can't remember if that was last week, but I think that is still something that a lot of people would probably want to know. But
I said something today.
hmm?
I said something today.
Yeah, like today, Xbox got rid of some games,
I
and
didn't read that.
yeah, of course, of
I
course.
read well. I didn't read that. But I read that they were not giving their employees um free Game Pass subscriptions.
Oh, see, there's enough that's two news right there.
That's not. I don't want to fucking talk about people not getting a Game Pass subscription. I don't want to talk about that.
Are they complaining about it?
I mean, probably some people are.
And I think they have every right to complain.
I mean, why? What? No, 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 no. I'm not getting sucked into the conversation. I'm not getting sucked into a conversation. I don't.
Hold on. You say you don't want to get sucked into the conversation, despite the fact that you're doing to ask the question.
No, but I don't find it interesting.
Exactly.
I don't
You
find I
you
don't find I don't find it interesting. But here's my overall point, right? If we do a podcast every single day, I feel like it dilutes the product. It dilutes the product. If we do it once a week, or even if it's like 2 times a week, at least they'll have a collection of topics we can talk about. Because the thing is that if something happens, I don't want to just talk about it. Some topics I don't want to talk about it right away. I need to know what's going on, why it's happening, or if there's more developing news that goes along with that. I don't want to just jump in and be like, oh well, let's do a podcast every single day. No, I'm not interested in that. And the thing that annoys me is that we have a Discord for this. If people want to voice their whatever it is, any concern or whatever, they can talk to me. I'm not a hard man to find.
Not all of our follow. Not all the people who watch our podcast are on the Discord. You know that, right?
Yeah, that's fine. But that's why the Discord's there for. That's why he's there for. To find out what's going on with the show. That's why he's there. So again, okay. I understand people want us to do more than one podcast, but like it's just not something I'm interested in doing. I'm not, and you know me, I'm not doing anything that I don't feel like doing, especially if I'm not getting paid for it. I'm just being real.
You have to. If I'm not getting, go ahead. Wait, go ahead. Finish.
Yeah, if I was getting paid to do it, then yeah, I would do it. But then it would become a job. I do this for fun. This for fun. Yeah, go ahead.
So if you were getting paid, you still wouldn't do it multiple days a week?
I would do it multiple days a week if we were getting paid.
Well, how? But your main reason is that it would dilute that product. That still remains a fact, whether you get paid or not.
That's fine, but at least I'm getting paid.
Okay, so it has nothing to do with the product then. It has nothing to do with diluting the product. I think you're just being lazy.
No, it's not about being lazy. It's just, I don't want being lazy. I don't want to be. No, it's not about being lazy. It's not about being lazy. I have a fucking job. I have an overnight job. It's not about being fucking lazy. In fact, I would argue, if it wasn't for you having two jobs, I would call you lazy. What have you done with your channel?
Wait. So what does me having two jobs? I'm still here, am I?
Of course you're here. But what have you done with your channel?
But they're talking about the overrated.
What have you done with your channel?
No, don't get my channel involved in this.
I constantly criticize you.
Listen. People are asking for the overrated podcast channel. They're not asking about my channel. Everyone that I have, every time we talk about this, it's because we have fans, and I guess I could call them fans, or we have supporters who talks about this channel.
No, they're not fans. They're people who you know. They're not fans. They're people who you know.
Not all of them are people who I know.
I mean, everybody, like anybody who had a problem with the podcast, they can reach out to me. But the only thing is, they reach out to you. So who are these people who are complaining? These are people who you know.
Well, I wouldn't say a complaint. It's just that if they're asking for more, I tell them, well, it's not based on me. You gotta talk to Hubi. You gotta talk to him. That's the thing. They have to talk to you because you are the one that. And besides, we're talking about this long enough. But this wasn't supposed to be an argument. The problem is supposed to be is that you should feel happy that there is a demand for this. That you should be happy. Which is why I said in the beginning, before I even asked you the question, it's a good problem to have, but you don't embrace it that way. I do.
No. The reason why I don't embrace it is because you're literally saying that it's because of me why we don't do two podcasts. You're putting it all on me.
Of course, it's on you. You don't want to do it.
So how am I supposed to embrace it? How am I supposed to embrace, wanting the man when all you're gonna do is just dump the reason why we don't do it on me?
Well, because if somebody asks me, oh, Steve, if you want to do it multiple times a week, why don't you do it? What do I have to say? It's because of me? It's not because of me. It's because of you.
But the problem is the only people who complain about that go to you. They don't go to me. I talked to Joe. I talked to Jabarius about the podcast. I talked to Randy about the podcast.
Oh, I didn't know Joe. I know Randy mentioned having multiple podcasts and stuff. I don't remember Joe asking about that. But if he did, shout out to him. Go ahead.
But I talked to multiple people about the podcast, right? And the thing is that if there was an issue with the podcast, then I will take the criticism, and I'll see what I can do about it. Because here's the thing. One of the things that I can't remember what one I have to ask Joe this again, but I know one criticism he had with the podcast is that we don't have like an audio version of the podcast, and that's something that I want to do, but it's gonna cost some bread. It costs money to do that, to put your podcast on like Spotify or Apple Music or anything like that. It costs money. And that's something that I actually would like to do so that people can listen to the podcast while they're working out or whatever without having to deal with YouTube and all the other crap.
Well, they could do that by using YouTube. Just play YouTube and then
but you have to pay for it. That's something they would have to pay for. I'm talking about something to where they can access it easily, without YouTube, whatever. Let's say, for example, if they use SoundCloud, they can do it like that. I can upload it through SoundCloud, but the problem is that costs money.
Okay,
that costs money, and it also it's a time thing, which is time that I don't really have right now. I don't really have the time. So excuse me if I don't feel like doing 2 podcasts a week,
or 3 or 4.
Yeah, I don't want to do that many podcasts a week. Obviously, if I get paid, then fuck it. I'll do as many podcasts you want to do as long as I get paid. But if I'm not getting paid and I have other obligations that I have to take care of, then yeah, I'm not doing 2 podcasts a week. It just as is, but it's just annoying when I have to hear it all the time, and then it's like, and I know how you are. You're just gonna lay it all on me.
Yeah, okay. You know we don't hear it all the time. We don't talk about this every week. Come on.
No, because every time this comes up, I have to hear it on WhatsApp, and I'm like, as if I'm supposed to respond. My response the first time I hear it is gonna be the next time I hear it. It's the same over and over again.
All you said was, "Oh, that's nice," and I think that.
Yeah, because you want to know why? Because it's the third or fourth time I've heard this. They heard the same thing.
Yeah, but from different people. They're all from different people.
I don't care. It's the same. My answer is going to be the same no matter what.
Right.
And the answer is going to be the same. So why do I keep being introduced to it?
Right. That's fine.
No, it's not fine. Clearly, it's not fine. So you want to address it.
No.
You're the one that brought it up unprovoked on the podcast.
Listen. I'll say this one last time. Every single time when someone brings it up to me, I bring it to your attention as proof that this is what people like. This is what people want. That's all I'm trying to do. And that is why I said you should embrace it, because it's a good thing, because people are asking for more. And if people are going to continue to ask for more, whether if I know them or not, that is still something that you and I are supposed to be embracing. That's why I said it's a good problem to have. And it shouldn't be an issue for you to address why we don't have multiple podcasts a week.
You know the answer. You know the answer. So tell them and move the fuck on. It's that simple. Like, see, it's not rocket science. I say that I'm not interested in doing 2 podcasts a week. That's been the answer since the first day we started doing this. So why do I keep having to hear it? Why do I keep having to address it?
Okay.
No, answer the question. Why do you keep insisting that I have to address it?
I already answered that question. You're just
Why?
answering the same. You already asked. You already asking the same question. And I already answered
No,
that.
because the reason why, because you keep asking me the same shit over and over again when we already know the answer to it, and then you bring it up on the podcast unprovoked for no reason.
It is for a reason, because so now somebody else has asked. That's all.
All right, but you know the answer, right?
Okay.
You know the answer, right? So why keep doing this? Why do we keep doing this back and forth?
Okay. Look, having a look. I look. Okay, look. Either you embrace the fact that people are, whether one, people are suggesting that we do more, that two, that people are asking for more. Either you embrace that, and just and that should constantly be a good thing for you and for me. But if it still annoys you that the fact that people are suggesting we should do more, or people are asking for more, look, there's really nothing else that I could say, because nothing can satisfy you clearly. Because you have to mention it or answer the question multiple times to different people. That for some reason that just bothers you so much. It's an inconvenience for you, and
No,
that's very that's very unfortunate, because there's been so many times where I would watch a particular channel, and people would ask, like on the live chat or whatever, oh hey, like, okay, perfect example, and then we need to move on, man. We need to move on. We can't do this lingering argument on this stuff again. I'm a big fan of Eric July. Okay, he has his own comic stuff now, and he used to have a podcast or a stream where he does every single day. It was called For Kenan's Sake. And you know what's been happening ever since he started his comic book stuff on the Rippaverse? People has been asking him, "Oh, how come whatever happened to For Kenan's Sake?" Even I was one of those people, because I was very curious what happened to For Kenan's Sake, and his response was, "Oh, I just, not that he doesn't want to do it, he just doesn't have time because he owns a Rippaverse, a comic book company now. He just doesn't have the time to do it every day like he used to." Time is an issue for him, and there's other people that were fans would ask, "How come you're not doing this anymore?" It's not just the Overrated podcast. A lot of people who are fans of a particular podcast would ask, "Oh, why aren't you doing this anymore? Why aren't you doing that anymore?" Like this is not just happening with me and you. It happens to a lot of people, and he has absolutely no problem of addressing it to each person who asks. But clearly, you do. Now, can we move on now?
No, I'm not moving on. I'm going to address what I have to address. Okay. If I don't want to do 2 podcasts a week, then I'm not doing 2 podcasts a week. Okay. I would like to live. Okay. If it's something that if it offends you or anybody else, that's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. But I'm going to do what's right for me and what's right for the family. Okay. I'm not kowtowing to people on the internet. I'm not kowtowing to people. You either accept me for who I am or you don't. It's fine. I don't I don't give a shit about being big on YouTube or anything like that. I don't fucking care. I do it because I like communicating with people who I like to communicate with. Right? I appreciate the Overrated podcast community, but I'm not going to sit there and kowtow to anybody over something that I'm doing with my life. I'm not doing it.
You all right. One last question, then we have to go. One last question. You think responding to fans, or responding to fans' demand, is kowtowing?
It depends on how it is.
How is it
depends on how
kowtowing?
it is. If they're telling me, for example, if they're telling me I should stop cursing on my own podcast, and I decide to do it, even though that's not who I am, that's kowtowing.
That's listening to your fan base.
No, hey, if someone tells you stop bringing up God in this podcast, would you listen to them?
Telling me to stop bringing God into it.
Yeah. Would
No,
you listen
no,
to them? All
no.
right,
But
then why is it? Then why do I have to do it?
well, cursing is something that a lot of people are just uncomfortable with. That's all.
Steve, I don't fucking care. I'm gonna curse all I want. It's my platform. Just like you bring up God on your platform.
I mean, it's not the same thing, but
I don't think.
I
Listen. To me, it's the same thing. To me, it's the same thing. I'm gonna bring up I'm gonna talk about what I want, when I want, how I want, however I want.
okay,
That's how I am.
but that's a different issue
No, it's not.
than
It's not.
as
No, it's not. It's
that's a
not a
different
different issue. It's the
no,
same thing.
no. I'm talking. You're comparing apples and oranges. I'm just if fans supporters are telling you, hey, can you do multiple podcasts a week? I really enjoy your podcast. That's not kowtowing to them. You're just responding to demand. That's all you're doing.
And if I say no, then why is it that I'm constantly having to? Why am I having this shit thrown in my face every fucking time we talk about it?
Okay, it's not being thrown in your
especially today.
It,
What led you to bring this up right now?
Because because we talked about it just the other day. I put it in the WhatsApp.
We didn't talk about it yesterday. And what are we here to do? What are we here to do from yesterday? Finish the podcast? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So what does bringing up? What do you throwing in my face again that I don't want to do two podcasts have to do with the podcast we did yesterday?
It's not about throwing at your face. Something like this should be celebrated. That's all I wanted you to do. Just celebrate the fact that wow, the conclusion that you should come up with, Avenel, is that this is actually a good thing. It's a good thing that people are asking for more. It's a good thing that people are suggesting that we do more.
I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm saying that.
Well, clearly, it's a bad thing for you if it annoys you.
No. What annoys me is you throwing this shit in my face when there's no need for it.
Avenel, even if I mentioned this on Monday, you still would find that to be inappropriate.
Because it's not the first time you've done it. It's not the first time you've done it. And what's changed from the first time you did it to what you're doing right now?
It's different people.
Nothing changed.
It's different people.
I don't give a shit if it's different people. The same answer applies. The same answer applies. I don't want to do two podcasts because I have a life to fucking live. I have a life to live. My life is not revolving around the podcast. And when you work as much as I do on the hours that I do, I have so much. I have a certain amount of time that I have to do, that I have to dictate to. And I don't want like my entire day revolving around, multiple days revolving around the podcast. I don't. I just don't. I don't have the time. I don't have the time.
You don't have the time. You don't have the energy. It's fine. Can we move on now? We're already like 30 minutes in.
Anyways,
it's third time I asked.
What?
Go ahead. No.
What you said?
Third. Yeah. It was the third time I've asked. Like, can we move on now?
Yeah. Anyway, Multa said, I think you guys have a legit chance to get much bigger. Of course we do. We always have a chance, but the problem is right now is that we just need more of a profile. That's it. And the thing is that the way that our equipment is right now, at least my equipment is just not ready to it's just not ready to grow right now. It's just not. Just not ready. And first of all, I don't want to continue using StreamYard. I'd rather use Discord. But the Discord on my computer right now is broken or something. I'd rather use Discord. But in order for the podcast to go to the next level, I have to get my stuff in order. I have no problem admitting that. And then when that process becomes easier, then yeah, we can think about doing 2 podcasts. But I suggested to you multiple times. I don't know if you remember this. I suggested that we do 1 podcast on your channel regarding the other stuff that we don't talk, that we try not to talk about on here. I don't know. I don't know if you remember.
No, I don't.
Like I remember, I think I mentioned it to you and Rand in the other in the WhatsApp. We can do a podcast regarding any non-sports or non-gaming topic, something that's a bit more controversial. We can do that. But the thing is that the only really thing that I've criticized you on when it comes to YouTube is the lack of content on your channel. And I get it. You have 2 jobs. I get it, but I feel like you do need to add more content to your channel. It'll bring more people. It'll bring more people to the channel. I think your personalities are a great match. And with 2 podcasts a week would be lit.
See, there you go. And I know Malta, mentioned, talked about it before, but there you go. Once again, this is what I mean by just embracing the fact that people think it would be awesome if we did more. That's it. That's all.
That comment makes no sense, because if we embracing it means what?
Like it meaning that, wow, okay, this is something that people want. People think is actually be cool or cooler if we did multiple podcasts. That's it. That's all.
Okay, and then but just embracing it don't mean nothing unless you're gonna actually do something.
Meaning embracing it instead of finding it annoying.
But what does embracing it have to do with anything? It's not gonna fix anything.
Okay. All right. Go. Let's continue with the comments.
So Danny Green signed back with Philly. I hope so. I hope he did.
I hope he did too, because yeah.
I hope he did too. What happened to him was awful. He said last year he had better offers, but took the pay cut to stay in the Sixers. Then they traded him before the season started.
Oh, and about you saying we don't do anything on the non-safe space. No, you're right about that.
Oh shit! Yeah, because because no one posted anything on there.
Well, and let's be real. You barely respond on the non-safe space stuff anyway.
No, not really. But like I said, it's up to you guys if you want. If you guys like I said, if something comes up, I'll mention it. But like I said, man, I'm busy. You know what I mean? And just, you know what? There's a picture that I wanted to post up. I keep forgetting to post it. I'll post it. I'll post it later. And listen, my sister's in the chat. What's going on? What's going on with me? Okay, so speaking of Discord, there was something that Malta mentioned regarding Kevin Porter. I don't know if you could bring up the article when you get a chance.
Mm-hmm.
But let me show a video, because this is what I was talking to you about yesterday, and we unfortunately we weren't able to get it because we got caught up in the Dwight Howard bull crap. But let me show you this video between Charles Barkley and Adam Silver. Now this happened during the opening night. This happened opening night.
Mm-hmm.
And this is hopefully I have the spot saved. Just waiting for it to come up. Oh, great. Internet's acting dumb.
So Charles Barkley has something to say, and yeah, I'm actually looking forward to hear what he actually had to say, because I still didn't listen to it yet. So this should be good.
Yeah, and he said this to Adam Silver. So it is interesting. I just wish that my internet would stop fucking freezing and shit. Well, rather,
Right. The are you so you're pretty much talking about the situation of the assault from
yeah, the domestic, yeah. So there's been multiple domestic violence situation that's happened with NBA players, right? Now, the one that Multi showed us was between Kevin Porter Jr. and his I guess his girlfriend who plays for the WNBA.
Mhm.
I forgot her name, but earlier last year there was a incident with Miles Bridges. Yeah, Miles Bridges. He plays for the Charlotte Hornets, where he got suspended. I think 30 days for a situation he had with his significant other. And I'm sure there's other incidents too that that's been going on. Why is my computer frozen? Like fucking Christ, man! God, I can't wait for this shit to be over. Ah, damn it, man! I can't wait. So I can get rid of fucking Comcast.
Well, I have the article here from ESPN.
Hold
Um.
on. Yeah, hold on. My computer blacked out right now.
Oh, okay. So all you see is a black screen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh. Well, all right. So, well, just I'll just read it and then just I guess just pay attention. So it says that Kevin Porter barred from Rockets since domestic violence arrest. So it says here that the Houston Rockets have told Kevin Porter Jr. that he cannot be with the team in any capacity in the wake of his domestic violence arrest. Yeah, pretty much his domestic violence arrest. Porter was arrested after an alleged attack on girlfriend Karsi Gonzalez, a former WNBA player in the New York City hotel on September 11th. Prosecutors said the attack left her with a fractured neck vertebrae and a deep cut above her right eye. Golly, man, that's
Yeah.
definitely got physical. They definitely got into a scuffle. Porter, who's 23 years old, had pleaded not guilty to felony assault and is due back in court in Manhattan on October 16th. The allegations against him are deeply troubling, Rockets general manager Raphael Stone said at the team media day Monday. Going back a few weeks, as soon as I heard the allegations, I informed his representatives that he could not be part of the Houston Rockets. They understood, and he has not been with the team or around the team or had any interactions with the team since that time and will not be at media today or in training camp. You see, so, like I remember you had mentioned whenever there's some type of lawsuit,
Mm-hmm.
and especially when it comes to like news reporting or sports analysts, journalists, like for example like talk shows and whatnot, like the situation with Michael Irving. I remember you had said, and I think you still hold this position, that whenever you go through something like that, they have to remove you until I guess everything is finalized, whether if you're guilty or not guilty and things like that. Now, in this particular case, I mean, I mean the evidence is like right there. The evidence. I still think what happened with Michael Irving was a screw. They screwed him over, but in this particular case, like if the girl has cuts on her and she has bruises on her neck and all this, like okay, that that is enough sufficient evidence that something actually went down. And if the team wants him not to be part of the Houston Rockets until everything's gets situated, then I don't see a problem with them doing that. I don't see the problem with them doing that. I just think it is going to cause, unfortunately, a huge distraction, for the team, and it's probably going to disrupt, the flow or what have you. Now you're missing a guy in the roster. Like it is going to cause a huge problem. And the thing that always always had me wondering is that, okay, you're 23 years old. I mean, you're still relatively new, in the league, and anybody who decides to commit domestic violence, or just someone who's acting and causing a disturbance, or whatever, I always feel like, not that they don't deserve a second chance, but you already in a situation to where you're probably no longer going to have an NBA future unless you are an elite player. And I remember you mentioned this, a long time ago, where your comment has always been, oh, the reason why teams are able to put up, with a person's particular stupidity, whether it's inside the court, outside the court, in the field, outside the field, is if you're an elite player. Look, because I'm telling you right now, if you're doing something that you're not supposed to be doing, but yet you are LeBron James or Steph Curry, you're going to get multiple chances in the league. Now, this person, I'm not too familiar with him. I need to look at his stats and see, what he has done,
Well,
so far.
Kevin Porter is, if I'm not mistaken, let me do some research on this. Thankfully, my computer is back online. But I think Kevin Porter Jr. was a high draft pick. But I know he's been disappointing based on and I've heard stuff about his attitude before. So when the situation happened with him and his girl, it like, when you read up on some of his problems in the past, it doesn't surprise me because he's already been traded. He was drafted by, I believe he was drafted by Cleveland.
Okay, well, if he's well, are you sure he got traded because of his?
Yeah, because attitude problems. Yeah, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely, because of his issues. Yeah, so he got drafted by the Cavs. He was 30th overall pick.
No, that's not that impressive.
No, but he was first round pick. Like he was drafted by Milwaukee, but then he got traded to Cleveland.
Hmm.
Right. So
I'm actually interested to know why did Milwaukee trade him? Is it for the same reason?
no, it was probably like a deal that they had. Like he was traded draft day.
Oh, okay. He would,
Yeah,
okay, the same day.
yeah. So okay. So let me read it. Let me show you his wiki and kind of show you why he is why he's in the situation he's in now. Right. So you see him right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So like it says right
No,
here.
no, no. I don't. I see my article. I don't see yours.
Oh, my bad, my bad. Let me go to mine real quick, and then I'll switch back to yours. Okay, let me highlight this part right here. All right. So Porter, oh my bad. Porter started the 2000-2001 season inactive due to an off-season weapons charge, which was later dropped. On January 2021, the Cavaliers announced that Porter would either be traded or released following an outburst regarding a locker room change following the Cavaliers acquiring of Torian Prince from the Brooklyn Nets. He was traded to the Rockets 3 days later. So he has maturity issues, major maturity issues, right? Because even if you're a 30th round pick, if you're seeing time on the floor, they're not trading you 2 years after, unless they're getting like a superstar in return. They're not trading you.
Mm-hmm.
So that dude has issues. So that dude has issues. Now All right, so you talked about Kevin Porter. I mentioned Miles. Is it Miles or yeah, it's Miles Bridges. Let me see if I can find that real quick. But in the meantime, let me play this cut. Let me get it ready.
Yeah, why are you playing it now?
Yeah, yeah. But go ahead. So, you have something to say? Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at his numbers, and his numbers are actually really not that bad. He
Oh,
so
he's a talented player.
because with yeah, because when he was with Cleveland, I mean, nothing crazy about. He only averaged 10 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. But once he got traded to the Rockets the year after in 2021, he averaged 16 points, 3 rebounds, and 6 assists, and 0.7 steals. The year after that, 2022, 15 points, 41% from the field, 37% on 3-point shooting, 4.4 rebounds, and 6.2 assists. And then just last year, 19 points, 5 rebounds. So his numbers was slightly increased every year.
Yeah.
He went from 10 when he first got drafted till now to 19 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. Those are good numbers. Shooting 44%.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a talented player, but when you see talented player like him get traded, like that soon, like come on, man, there's clearly maturity issues that he has, and while he's a good player, he's not good enough to deal with those headaches. You know what I mean?
It's
He's
very,
not
it's
he's
very,
not good.
yeah. It's very
Yeah,
unfortunate because he clearly the guy could play.
yeah.
He's
So
constantly
this,
been on a trajectory every year. Go ahead.
all right, so this is the other player that was in the news, Miles Bridges. He turned himself in, and after warrant arrest issued. Okay. Okay, all right. So let me read this part right here. The warrant was originally issued January 2nd, but had not been previously served. Bridges unlawfully and knowingly violated the protection order and continually contacted the victim, according to a court document made public Friday. Bridges is also set to serve a criminal summons on October 6th allegation of violating a protection order, misdemeanor child abuse, and injury to personal property. That criminal summons had not been served on Friday morning, according to court documents. And then I think they're reading here. More reading here. Let me highlight this. Bridges is serving a 3-year probation after pleading no contest in exchange for no jail time in June 2022 domestic violence case involving the mother of his 2 children, who accused Bridges of assaulting her in front of the children. It was ruled that he must adhere to a 10-year criminal protection order for the woman, weekly narcotics and marijuana testing, and reinstitution and re. You know how to pronounce this?
Um, restitution.
Yeah, according to the L.A. court district attorney office. So these two situations right here, high profile, cases of domestic violence, led Charles Barkley to ask Adam Silver this question. All right, so
What was this? What was this? Well, like what was the main thing about this video?
well, the main thing with this him, like normally every year, when team, like I've seen them do this seemingly every year, where they'll go to location of the big opening night game. I think this one, I think they were in for Lakers and Nuggets. Yeah, they was outside. I think they was outside of Denver for Lakers and Nuggets, right? And every year they'll have the commissioner come onto the set with the boys and just talk up the NBA, talk up. I know he was talking about the in season tournament, addressing load management and stuff like that. And Charles Barkley unprovoked asked him about the domestic violence thing. So I'm gonna play it right now.
Mistakes.
Can you hear that? By the way,
Yeah.
okay.
And we'll see. As I said last time, I mean, the proof will be in how he chooses to live his life when he comes out back into the league and performs on the floor.
I got one
Whoa,
more
whoa,
question.
whoa,
I don't
whoa,
care.
whoa,
He said,
hold on, hold on. Rewind that. Who is he talking about?
Yeah. Who is he talking about? Let's go back.
Terms of coming back and turning the page.
So our folks at the league office have regular updates with Ja and the team. So
This
Oh,
on
John.
John.
program
Okay,
together,
okay.
a
Oh, yeah,
combination
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah, yeah.
counseling and other things he's doing to work through, frankly,
Might
his
as well do
issues. He and I have not talked in the last several weeks, but again, people in the league office have. His progress report has been very positive, and I'm hoping he can put these incidents behind him. I mean, he's an incredible talent. He's a young man. At least in his direct discussions with me, he never made excuses. He acknowledged he made mistakes and then mistakes on top of mistakes. And we'll see. As I said last time, I mean, the proof will be in how he chooses to live his life when he comes out
Pause it.
back into the league and performs on the floor.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you obviously this is an obvious point. Do you see the difference between what happened with Jaw and Porter and the other guy that you mentioned? Do you see the difference? Do you see how the Memphis Grizzlies, they didn't trade him? They didn't, cut him or anything like that. But they surely did that to Dylan Brooks. You know what I'm saying? The freaking Cavaliers, traded Porter, and he went to Houston. Do you see what happens when you are an elite talent? When you're an elite talent, you are going to get second chances.
Yeah, but in fairness to Ja, like what he did was while stupid, nowhere near as bad as what. Now you can like you're the argument with Brooks, yeah, I agree with you there. But when it comes to like Porter and Bridges, obviously what they did was worse.
Yeah, but the way how they're treating John Morant is almost the same because he's still not participating, with the teams either.
Yeah, he's suspended.
Yeah.
And Bridges was suspended. He did get suspended.
I think for like one game, right?
No, he got suspended for like
I can't
30
remember.
games.
Oh, 30 games. Okay.
Yeah, he got suspended for 30 games.
Oh, 30 Brooks was okay. 30 games.
Yeah, Porter, I don't think. Yeah, Porter, I don't think he's in the league right now. And when he does get in the league, he'll likely serve a suspension also.
Yeah, Porter's not in the league, and Bridges, he's not in the league either.
No, he plays for Charlotte.
Okay,
he's
so
playing right now.
He's playing right now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right. So let's play the audio.
Or I got one more question. I don't care. He said go to commercial, but I got a serious question for you. There's a couple of disturbing incidents of domestic violence in the NBA right now. What are we doing to address that? Because that is you can't put your hands on women, man. And we should be at the forefront in sports when the men hit women. So what are we as a league going to do about that?
Well, again, that's an area where we're not looking to compete against other leagues when you say forefront. So I think all the leagues are trying to address this issue. But I know, again, our players.
Okay. Let me say that. Let me address that first. I like Adam Silver. I have no issues with him.
Oh, you like him?
Yeah, I have no issues with him.
Okay.
But if you're saying that you can't be in the forefront, my guy, you're closely connected to the WNBA. You obviously want to attract more women to your product. Why are you not in the forefront of something like this? Like, it's one thing if you want due process to happen, that's fine. If you want to do due process, because some people are so quick to just be like, oh, he did it, he did this, he did that, whatever, without justice being prevailed, right? And I don't agree with that. But you can't tell me you don't give the excuse that you can't be in the forefront of punishment when it comes to domestic violence. That's dumb. You're in the forefront of all these other things. When it comes to George Floyd, you're right up front and center. But now when it comes to this, now you want to count you want to power? Come on, bro.
I think in a situation like like this, I think like you said before, I think they would rather have due process take its course first before they do anything to somebody, especially if it turns out that the whole allegation was probably a lie anyway. Like they don't it does make a company look bad because remember, now I don't want to make this a political issue. We all hear all the backlash when women lie to men about being sexually assaulted or domestic violence. Like you see all the backlash. Oh, how come she's not getting punished? Why isn't the law punishing her? She should be in jail. Yada yada yada.
Mhm.
I'm just going to assume that sports leagues don't want to be put in that position anymore. Like they don't want to be put in a position to where they fire a guy, they cut a guy, they tell a guy they can't participate or whatever, and yet he did absolutely nothing wrong.
No, I
And-
get I get that. I get that. No, continue.
No, go ahead. You could play the
No, but
the videos.
Yeah, but let me address that. Like I get it, but if something happens to where there's something that is conclusive, right? Then you can absolutely still be upfront of it. Be like, okay, this type of stuff is not tolerated. You can absolutely still be in the forefront of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind you can definitely have due process and all the other stuff. I agree with that. But don't tell me, oh, we don't want to be at the forefront. No, you're up in the forefront for everything else. Everything else that you guys can market. So why not do that for women for advocating for women?
So what you're saying is that they should take action immediately once.
No.
something like this
What
occurs.
I'm saying is that they should take action when it's appropriate action when it happens. When not when it happens, but like when there's like a conclusion that goes into it, right? So let's use Kevin Porter for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we know he's had several incidents at work and outside of work. If that was me, he ain't playing. He ain't playing for a year off rip because he had a year off rip because he has a reputation. He has a reputation. Now if he goes in, he regardless of what happens, if he wants to be reinstated, okay, we talk to me, we set up a plan. You have these guidelines that you have to set. If you apply, if you correct these guidelines and you show that you're a changed person, then we'll let you back in. If not, then you're banned.
For the year, you banned for the year.
Yeah, I would say year. Yeah,
Wow.
I would say year. Cause look, like domestic violence. That's a pretty serious thing. That's very serious.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I'm just spitballing here. Like I don't have all the answers. I'm just spitballing. But let me continue.
Association, credit to them. This wasn't adversarial. We put in place a new program for how we deal with, first of all, accusations of domestic violence even before they're prosecuted. Part of it goes to training of our players, counseling of our players to make sure they understand during high stress situations that, like, obviously never resort to violence against anyone. And so we're addressing it. We have, state of the art counseling professionals dealing with our players. But of course, and if a guy, does cross the line, the consequences are enormous.
Adam Silver, always a pleasure seeing you. I know you got business.
That was pretty much it. That was pretty much his answer.
Yeah. Like to me, like overall, my opinion, like this is once again one of the reasons why I'm glad that these guys are still here. Like I love freaking TNT. Like I love these guys. And Charles Barkley, he doesn't care. He'll ask the craziest questions, the hardest questions, to answer. To me, I truly believe that yes, you're supposed to take these situations seriously. You have to protect the women. You have to, like you mentioned just a few moments ago. At the end of the day, I still believe that due process still needs to take place first, because I do not want the same situation. Because like I said, I believe Michael Irvin is not guilty, and I do not want a situation to happen to him. The same thing to happen, with NBA players or football players. If the whole thing is not true, I don't want people losing their jobs, losing their money, their name is getting tainted. All the consequences that happens, and yet the person didn't even do anything. So, although I understand your point about banning the person or suspending them for whatever how many games, but what happens if all the allegations becomes not true? He's what happens then? Like, are you going to give him his money back? Are you going to apologize to the guy? Like, what happens to you then as a league for punishing people who did nothing wrong? I don't want leagues just starting punishing guys because of allegations without due process taking place first. I don't know if that's fair or not to you.
No, I understand. I understand what you're saying. That's why I think it depends on the person, and it depends on their reputation. Like I said, like Kevin Porter, he has a reputation. Like John Morant before his second charge, he didn't have a reputation. It was just like a one-time thing, stupid thing. Like slap on the wrist is fine. Like, but the problem is if he does it again, then you have to go harder on him because what he showed was that he was just there just to be there. He didn't listen to you. He just kind of treated you. He kind of disrespected you in a way.
So what, John Morant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To Adam Silver, right?
Yeah.
Because they did this. They tried to they gave him a slap on the wrist, basically. Gave him a slap on the wrist, and then he goes out on social media once again, and he's flashing his gun again. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, he's disrespecting you at that point. So you have to go harder on him. So to me, like I said, I don't know what the solution is, but if you're going to be, you don't sit there and be like, oh, we don't want to compete with other leagues to be in the forefront of punishing domestic violence abusers. Like, no, you should be in the forefront. You should absolutely be in the forefront. Because it's a bad look to be like, oh, we're in the forefront of having relations with China. Yet when it comes to domestic violence of women, you're gonna have your hands late. You're gonna have your hands back. No, you should be at the forefront of that too. And like I said, I agree with due process, but I also know if a certain player have a certain reputation, then that's something that needs to be handled. Every situation needs to be handled should be handled seriously. Right? So if the guy needs to take time off, take time off. If don't take his money away. Because like I said, if we don't know if everything is like ambiguous or whatever, then give him time off. Let him handle his situation. But if there's proof that you did this and did that, oh shit, throwing the book at you.
Mm-hmm.
Throwing the book at you, because at the end of the day, as a league, you should not tolerate that type of action from your players or your coaches or your executives, anybody who's associated with that league.
Yeah,
no tolerance for that type of stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense, especially if you had a past, like if your past has just been nothing but trouble, and okay, now you have a domestic violence allegations, or like if it was sexual assault allegations. Like, my question would be, why in the world you cannot stay out of trouble? Like, why is it that you're constantly involved with something? And yeah, and if you want to punish him, based on the fact that he keeps getting himself into a bunch of trouble, and he needs to be more responsible of where he's at, and where who he's hanging out with. Yeah. Because even if all this stuff turns out to be untrue, you see how it could still be a huge distraction for the team and the organization. I get it.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying.
All right, so let's read some comments. Like most of, you mentioned he was drafted by the Cavaliers. Then they gave Then they gave up his locker room to another player, and he yelled at the staff and players, "This is modern day, modern day slavery."
Wow.
You could tell he's young. He don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Then was traded to the Rockets, where they were developing him to co-star with Jalen Green until the incident with his girlfriend. Okay. F is in the chat. What's going on, bro?
What's up, Fred?
All right. So Multa continues on, saying that that True Morant gets chance after chance again, while Brooks was humiliated by the franchise because they publicly stated that they won't resign Brooks over him calling LeBron old. Brooks was scapegoated. They put all the blame on him.
Do you agree? Do you agree with all of that?
Well, I don't know if they put all the blame on him, but they definitely made an example out of him. They absolutely did. And to be honest with you, I don't feel bad for him. You can't talk. You can't. No, I don't feel bad for him. Remember, he was talking all sorts of shit. He was doing all this and wasn't backing it up. And when you do all that talking, you better back this shit up.
Yeah, that I will agree with, because if you're going to start, talking smack, and if you're going to start causing drama, and yet you have nothing to show, to show for it, you embarrass yourself and you embarrass the whole entire team, because you're putting yourself out there. It's already bad enough that you're putting this on public display, but when you decide not to perform, but yet you only want to perform, doing drama and causing fights and getting technical fouls and all the other stuff, you're just embarrassing the organization at this point, because you're not doing anything to back it up, like you mentioned. So yeah, I agree with that. I would get pissed off too. If you're gonna be talking smack, I need you to shoot some baskets.
All right, women are too weak to fight, so men shouldn't hit them out of frustration. Women's job is to nurture the kids, the sick, and cook.
Malta, I'm not allowed to say that. See, now I guarantee Havino's probably not going to call you the S word like he always calls me. But I guarantee you, I'm not you and our friend Randy are able to get away with stuff like this. I can't. Havino always wants to attack me when it comes to this type of stuff.
I don't agree with him clearly. But like I said, I don't want to get into another argument.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. What? But here's what I will say. On Malta, women, yes, obviously, they're weaker than men. I fully agree with you. But at the same time, you cannot keep your hands to yourself. You can't be out there, hitting guys knowing that you're not supposed to be pretty much attacking you or hitting you back, because they obviously have bigger to lose, especially if you're a sports athlete. You have a far much bigger chance of losing everything. But at the end of the day, though, I think when it comes, because you hear guys all the time say, well, men have the right to defend themselves too. Yeah, absolutely they do. You see, the part when it comes to defending yourself, that people say they don't see gender when it comes to defending yourself. They don't. So if somebody is attacking you, you have the right, to defend yourself by whatever means necessary. Now I don't want to, go into a debate about this. If that's what happened with, with Porter, like, let's say she, just hypothetical, this is going to sound silly, but let's say, she ended up trying to hit him, I don't know, with a weapon or something. Now what everybody is going to be focusing on is, oh, well, he probably had the right to do what he did if she's attacking him with weapons and things like that. So I know that's probably not what happened, but I'm just giving you, as an example that, yes, they'll say that women are the weaker vessel, but at the end of the day, though, still keep your hands to yourself. You're not supposed to be attacking people either. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I hear what you're trying to say. Now, as far as him saying women's job is to nurture the kids and sick and cook and stuff like that, yeah, I Hoovy doesn't agree with you with that, but I certainly agree with you with that. 100%.
Oh, no. Let me clarify what I said. It's not something that should be a job description for them to do. It's something if they want to do it, then they should. And most women do anyway. Because you're not gonna. What type of woman would have kids and not raise them properly? You know what I'm saying? Like if they're sick, they're gonna try. Like any decent human being would do that. But I mean, I can do that as a man. As a man, I could be able to nurture my kids. I could be able to treat them when they're sick or to cook for them on occasion. It shouldn't be a man or a woman thing.
I know, because you don't believe in gender roles. I got you.
All right. So I'm wondering if any of you have ever given consideration to how the world of sports and its athletes have shown clear signs of indoctrination and their allegiances to the elites. No. No, I have not. No.
Yeah,
Have you?
I think.
Shout
Like,
out to Ed Gonzalez, by the way.
yeah. Ed. He's finally responding into the chat. Awesome. Like, I'm glad that you're still here, buddy. Always a brother to me. Now, when you say consideration of how the world of sports and now look, let's make one thing clear here. Obviously, when it comes to the sports world or even in the music industry, I want to add them into this too. They know for sure how they could influence adults, young adults, and especially the kids. Absolutely. And I think whatever they put on display, I think there have to be some level of responsibility how you're supposed to conduct yourself because you can't influence people. But at the end of the day, what everyone is going to say at the end of the day is, oh, well, it's still my life. Your job that job should be for the parents and the parents only. If the kids are following me, doing this, doing that, well, that's their problem and not mine. And for me, I just don't believe in that. I don't believe in that. I believe that if you are a political figure, a sports figure, I do think there is a sense of responsibility of conducting yourself in a particular way where it's positive to the watching world. Now, as far as you mentioning allegiance, to the elites, I mean, look, it could be the owners, it could be all these people who have all this tons and tons and tons of money. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't pay my allegiance to them. The only person that I'm going to be submitting to is the Lord Jesus Christ, my Savior. That's it. Nobody else. I don't care how much money you're going to give me. If that's what these guys are doing, and I'm just gonna say, well, that's idolatry, and shame on you for doing it. Shame on you, all of you. I don't care. I don't care if you're my favorite player or whatever. If that's what they're doing, shame on them.
So, Dolphy in the chat. The key point in his response was that they're working on getting the guys proper counseling and ethics off the court. No, that's true. Like, I know they've always had programs like this to help young players when it comes to like saving money and stuff like that, and like in doing, being wise with their money. But they've also mentioned something that I know, something that you don't like to talk about often, and that's called mental health. Right, helping guys, kind of be able to address their mental health and try to make that more of a priority for each player. Because I've heard DeMar DeRozan talk about it, Kevin Love talk about it, and I'm sure there's plenty of NBA players to talk about it where it is mentally, the game can be mentally taxing, especially if you're not doing well. It could be mentally taxing for guys. So they have programs for that. So yeah, I like I said, I like Adam Silver, but to me, I just think that I didn't put this thing on vibrate. Man. All I'm saying is that you should always have when it comes to that type of stuff. When it comes to like don't ever try to hide from being in the forefront of anything good. especially when you have the influence, when you have the power to be that. Don't hide. And that comment that he made about not wanting to be in the forefront of it, to me, that was kind of like, that was lame to me. But yeah, he has been someone who has also encouraged players to seek better mental health and stuff like that. So I do applaud him for that. Rose Maya in the chat, what's going on? How you doing?
Hello.
All right, Dolphin continues. Men can be unstable and unpredictable when emotions and tensions are high. Not always in there someone next to you to save you in that situation. Emotion can get high, tension can get high. What's he talking about? That never happens.
Rudolph, Riddler, if you could,
I'm joking, by the way. I'm joking, by the way. Go ahead.
Okay. So go ahead. Since you're joking, so go ahead.
No, I just made the joke.
Okay. Now, okay, men can be unstable and unpredictable. I mean, I think that goes. I mean, I don't think that's an exclusive thing. Like that goes for both. Women can be unstable too, and of course, men, obviously could be unstable. Like I agree with that, but it's not exclusive, to men. Now, the only thing I will say when it comes to this stuff like this is that regardless of how much money that you make, you have to, keep your emotions in check. The problem is when you are in a public space and you're making millions and millions and millions of dollars, you have so much to lose than just the average guy. And if that means that because you have the resources are there for you, I highly doubt it's going to cost you any money to seek medical attention, whether it's for mental health or for anger management or whatever it is. The resources are there for you, so use them. And if you have a problem, let the team know, let the organization know, and they will work with you, because if they're going to put the investment in you, they don't want to lose you, and you don't want to lose any money, and you don't want to let your fan base down and your teammates down. So you have a lot more to lose. So do whatever you have to do to get yourself better. Now, go ahead.
All right, so before I read Ed's comment, let me address Multi real quick. I don't know what happened, because I saw I don't know if it was on your side, but I saw the I'm old school comment. I saw that, but the only comment I saw before that was you talking about Brooks being the scapegoat. So I don't know what happened, but I didn't delete. I didn't know. I didn't delete your comment, and so I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened.
We don't delete comments here on Moto, but I'm not really sure exactly what you said. If you don't mind putting it there again, because I just want to see if maybe YouTube is responsible for that.
Yeah, it could be a YouTube thing. All right, so let me read this from Ed. Like, I could go on about this for days, but an obvious, easy example would be LeBron's ritual Illuminati hand symbols and tattoos, as well as his son's tattoo of 999 right on his darn head.
Is that true? Does he have a 999 on his forehead?
I have no idea. What's the symbolic nature of 999 outside of if you turn it upside down and 666? Is that what it is?
I'm gonna look this up right now.
Okay. That is I don't know why your comments keep getting deleted. I don't know.
But what he just mentioned it again?
Yeah. I don't know what's happening.
Let me see. Well, but to respond to what Ed had said, I've seen videos of LeBron James, putting the the 6 sign and what have you, and a lot of people are saying, oh, he's making allegiance to Illuminati or the devil. Like I've seen it. I've seen it myself. Like there's videos of him doing that. The whole thing with the tattoo stuff, that's the very interesting part. If that is just blatant, look, I don't care. Even if this is something that will probably piss Hoovy off, if he intentionally put 999, on his forehead, that is a clear indication or a subliminal message of the whole 666 stuff. I'm sorry, but I fully believe that if that tattoo is actually legit, I'm gonna look for it.
He said that the tattoo behind his ear.
Who said that?
Ed.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay, I didn't scroll down. Let me look.
So pretty much, all right. So Malta's saying that my other comment was men's job is to go to war, be pro bid, and work. I don't know. I'm not going to war for nobody. And said that you wouldn't hit her back. I could restrain her physically. Yeah. I mean, in regarding the whole Kevin Porter thing, I mean, if a girl hits you, right, then does that give you the right to like completely destroy her physically? I mean, if she's not attacking you with a weapon, I mean, I understand, defending yourself. I definitely understand that. But if she slaps you and you end up punching her in the face, I mean, can we talk about putting your hands to yourself, or we're talking about assault? Because
I mean, a slap in the face is assault too, just so you know.
Understood. But if you escalate it to the point where you can do permanent damage to her, that's not a good look for you. Just like if an old person attacks you, you're gonna sit there and start beating the shit out of that person before they get crippled. You know what I'm saying? Like these are all things that you have to consider. What is this?
All right, so I see the tattoo. I wish I could scroll it more, but like you said, Ed, shout out to you. So it's right here. So you have one here, you have one here, you have one here. 999 on his behind his ear. Yeah. I honestly believe that that's not a coincidence. It's not. That's not a coincidence. Like I would absolutely, if I ever had the opportunity, I would definitely ask him, what is the meaning of this? And I don't want to hear about, oh, it's just three numbers, just random three numbers. They have meaning, and I'm pretty sure it means something, and that is something that it's not good. It's not good.
Right. So Rodolphe wants to know how he felt when you got burgered by a chick.
Wait, what?
He asked you how you felt when you got burgered by a chick.
I don't know what that means.
I mean, then ask them.
Yeah. Let me know what exactly do you mean, Riddler?
All right. So yes, you can hit her back, but I'm much larger in size, and that's not going to be a good look for you, Malta. I'm just letting you know. It's not going to be a good look for you. And it's not a coincidence either. Regardless, we can move on if you want. The next topic's for you.
So Riddler, so Riddler, let me know exactly what you mean. And Ed, you saying his number is not a coincidence either. Well, look, if the fact that you have all this stuff, people talking about LeBron James, him putting up the 6 sign, and his son having the 9 stuff, and then with his number.
He's saying, are you looking at the WhatsApp right now?
No. What is read it to me.
Someone named Ashley threw a burger at you.
Oh snap! No. Oh, I remember. No, well, yeah, she threw a burger at me, but I didn't hit her back.
Mm-hmm. Why did she throw a burger at you?
Dude, that was so long ago. I think I think I said to her, dude, no, dude, honestly, I don't think I remember. All I remember is that she showed me the burger. Oh, this is what I had, and then just bam, just freaking threw it at my lap. She threw the burger in my lap, and if I remember correctly, I was like, I think I said, "Oh man, I just love a woman, that could eat." And I think she got offended by that comment, and then she threw the burger at me. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember.
So that's all you said.
That's all I said.
Mm.
That I love that I love a woman, that that could eat, and she got offended by it, and then she threw the burger at me. Yeah,
And
I definitely
did you
remember
talk to
that.
her after that?
Yeah, I forgave her, but it turned out that there wasn't really going to be a future.
You're a better man than me.
What would you have done?
I would have cursed her out and got the fuck out of there and never talked to her again. Fuck. Obviously, I'm not gonna hit her, but like, I'm not going to accept that level of fucking disrespect.
Well, I remember how old was I when that happened? I think wasn't that like, weren't we like all like in our 20s? When that happened?
I don't
Damn, that
know.
was such a long
I
time ago.
don't remember. I don't remember you. I'm not. I don't. I think you might have told me the story, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember telling you the story. I told in the group chat. It was me, you, Randy, Mr. B. I don't remember if Yoshi was there with us at the time, but it was a lot of us there, before.
All right, so pretty much like Milton saying I'm implying I wouldn't be the woman, and he, said good things about you, saying that's because Steve is a grown man. He didn't react emotionally by beating her. So yeah, you did good there. You did good there. But I'm not even talking about beating. I'm like, you're not going to fucking throw a burger at me, and you're going to get away with that. Not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. But anyway, yeah, okay. So next topic is PlayStation Slim.
Yeah.
This is yeah.
Oh, right. All right. So now onto gaming news. So the PlayStation Slim. I have more rants, with Sony and the PlayStation brand, and here is the reason why. Shout out to Sonic All Stars. I still didn't buy the game yet. I need to hurry up and get the game. But yeah, big shout out to Sonic All Stars Superstars. PlayStation 5 Slim Disk Drive seems to require internet connection to install. Now, like we all mentioned before, this is how the plate. Oh, I wish we could turn on its side. But anyway, this is how the PS5 Slim is going to look like. And we mentioned, I've complained over, how you have to buy, a separate stand. And now there's more bad news. You can see this, right? Can you?
Yeah.
Okay. And now we have, more bad news because now, in order for you to get, if you decide to buy the digital version and you want to have physical disc, let's say you want to buy, okay, I want to have, physical media again, and you have to buy the the disk drive. You need an internet in order for you to do so. So let's see what's going on here. So Sony new PlayStation 5 disk drive add-on use the upcoming PS5 console will require an internet connection to pair the device during its installation. The detail is listed on boxes for the new PS5 Slim, which have begun popping up in the wild ahead of its November launch in the US. Internet connection required to pair disk drive PS5 console upon setup. The box warns in photo shared online today. Sony may want to use an online check-in to ensure the PS5 Slim Disk is an officially licensed peripheral rather than another kind of disk drive that could enable piracy. So obviously, if it's a third-party, disk drive, you're not going to be allowed to use it. or I'm going to assume that if you find some way to use it, Sony's probably going to kick you out, which is why you have to have internet access to in order for you to use that. Bunch of BS. But I'll share my rant just a little bit later. However, it also adds an online step to playing disc-based games that otherwise would not require an internet connection, and begs the question of what happens when Sony turns its authentication server off, or it's offline for some other reason. That's a very legitimate question. Like, what would happen when you shut that stuff off? Do you like will you continue to have access for your games? I'm actually curious about that. Eurogamer has contacted Sony for more details on how this internet connection will work and the reason for it being required. Boxes of the PS5 Slim and a new bundle with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 are being shipped to retailers per photos posted online over the past 24 hours. Sony is yet to say exactly when the PS5 Slim will go on sale and has noted that it will replace stock of its existing PS5 after that runs out. Leaks suggest it will launch around 10th November. Oh, okay, that's like right around the corner in the US with another bundle that includes the newly launched Spider-Man 2. Okay, so we have this guy on Twitter. He says, if this is the case, that is highly concerning and very strange. Hardware connectivity shouldn't be determined by a server that may not always be available. And that's really pretty much the main concern that I have. But for people who are going to be buying the PS5 Slim, why is Sony doing this? I don't really understand you forcing people to have an internet connection for a peripheral. Like, seriously, this is where we're going. This is where we're going to be going to now. All right, let's see what he says. He says, I know you don't like it when games don't come on this, but how do you feel about PS5 disk drive not being able to work without an internet first? Yeah. Oh my goodness. So yeah, okay. So obviously some people are not happy with this. All right, so the PS5 bundle. PS5 Slim has a 30% decrease in volume compared with the current model and comes with 1 terabyte storage. But its main difference is the detachable disk drive, which allows the console to be sold at a digital-only version or with the drive packed in. The disk drive will also be available to buy separately. And I think that's the end of the article. Okay. All right, Havino, your thoughts, man.
It's not a big deal.
Is that it?
It's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal to you. Okay.
Let me tell you why. I guess I'll explain why. If you just bought the digital version, what are you going to need?
A disk drive.
No. Cause you can get it. You can get the PS5. Like Multi here, he asked, so do you guys have the best PS5? Which is the best PS5 is the one with the disc drive already in it. But if you're buying the all digital PlayStation 5, what do you need? You don't know the answer?
Go ahead. Tell me the answer.
You need the internet. Why would you buy a digital PS5 without internet connection? How are you going to download the games?
Okay. No, but I think what they're saying is you shouldn't need an internet connection just for a freaking disk drive.
But if you're buying a digital PlayStation, what do you need? You need internet. You need the internet to use the digital version anyway. So if you're just going to buy the disk drive, what is it that you already have? Internet. So no matter if you have it digital only or if you have it with the disk drive, you need the internet regardless.
Here's the thing that you're missing. What if they decide to buy the disk drive, right? And they want to buy this, they want to start buying physical media. That means that means they're choosing the option to, whereas when you start buying physical discs, you shouldn't have to have the internet to play these games.
Steve, you're gonna need the internet regardless. If they want to play physical games, then instead of just buying a separate disk drive, they could just buy a PlayStation 5 that has the disk drive already in it.
No, you're still missing the point though. If because look, the reason why I don't support these digital games is because obviously you have to remain online to download these games and whatever, but you are exempt from doing that once you have physical games, especially if all you're going to do is just play single player mode. They have to remain online all the time now, every single time, even if they decide to buy the physical drive.
Okay, there are some games that require internet, but even with all that, if you want to all of a sudden decide to play physical game, but yet you don't want to be connected to the internet all the time, just buy the $500 PlayStation. That's all you have to do. Buy the $500 PlayStation. Even though you're probably gonna still need internet regardless. You're gonna need internet regardless because like I said, if you want to play online, you need internet. If there's some games that require internet connection to play, you're gonna need the internet sooner or later. But if you're so hell bent on playing single player games without having to connect online or whatever, then buy the PlayStation that already had the disk drive in it.
But for you to say that this is not a big deal,
it's not a big deal.
I think it's just stupid.
Steve, if you're buying a digital PlayStation, you need internet. You need to have internet because there's no way you're going to be able to download games without it. So if you decide to buy a disk drive, you should already have in your possession the internet. So what are we complaining about here?
Look, we read the comments on Twitter. What happened if the stuff doesn't work? Clearly, if you are buying the disk drive, that should give you the option that you should not rely on internet anymore. Hoopy 186.
Steve, there's a $500 option to buy a PlayStation with the disc.
Okay, but isn't the digital one cheaper? And they could just buy the disc drive later.
It's $50 cheaper, but if you buy the digital version and the disc drive, it's more expensive.
Okay.
So instead of dealing with the expense, just buy the $500 PlayStation.
Okay, but you acting like it's $50 doesn't make a significant difference. It does. $50 is still a lot of money.
Oh wait, Steve, how does that make any sense?
If they want to buy the cheaper version, and then say, okay, I could buy, because remember, when you buy a console, most likely they're probably going to buy a second controller, and they have to buy a game also, right? That's usually the standard of what we do. We buy an extra controller by default. We buy a game or two by default. That's a lot of money right there. That's a lot of money. And if they could save $50 and say, well, I'm just going to buy the disk drive. I'm going to buy the disk drive later. I guarantee you there's going to be tons of people that's going to do that have that type of mindset. I'll just buy it later. And once they buy it, if they still it's a requirement for them to remain online, despite the fact having a disk drive, it defeats the whole purpose.
You're not understanding what I'm saying. If you buy the digital version, then you're committed to online only. So you need the internet. If you decide to buy this drive, what, you're going to just get rid of your internet? Then how are you going to have access to your digital games? Like at some point, you need the internet to operate the PlayStation, and it doesn't make sense to me that you would buy a $450 device, wait a couple months, and then buy the disk drive for which is an extra $80. I think is $80.
Was it 80?
Yeah, it's 80. Which is an extra $80 when all you really had to do was sell off the $450 PlayStation, spend and you get what you spend extra $50 to get the disc, get the one with the disc already in it, and you're good to go. Like this is just people bitching and complaining for the sake of bitching and complaining. That's all this is.
Well, regardless of how you feel about people complaining just to complain, because I guarantee a lot of people are complaining about this.
Of course,
I think
all they do is complain. That's it.
I think even Review Tech USA was complaining about it also.
I don't give a shit what he has to say. I don't fucking care what he has to say.
I mean, you support his channel, but here's
not anymore. I unsubscribed to him a long time ago.
I'm curious why did you do that?
He made stupid content. He made content that's like dumb. I don't need to hear what beefs he has or any other stupid shit that he's doing. His channel got boring, so I unsubscribed.
Okay. All right. But regardless, listen. It seems like every time when it comes to like physical media, I feel like Sony is doing this very subtly. It seems like they're trying to make physical media an inconvenience. That's what I think Sony is trying to do. I think they're trying to do the same thing what Microsoft is doing, and they are following suit of what Microsoft is doing. They are purposely trying to make physical media an inconvenience. So that way we could slowly move away from physical media and just completely support digital media. I think that's what Sony is doing. Why even if you think this is not a big deal, why in the world is Sony is going to put all this trouble for you to spend extra money on a disk drive, and for you to make it a requirement in order for you to use the extra hardware? You need an internet to use it. Dude, what sense does it actually make for that I need to use an internet for parts? I need to use an internet for parts. I look, you saying that it's a big deal now, that's irrelevant to me. It is stupid that Sony is going to this route to make it a much harder time for people who support physical media. That's the issue that I have.
So it's harder to support physical media because why again? Because when you could just buy.
I think what Sony is doing is that they're doing this very subtly. Like they're not doing it outright like how Microsoft is doing it. They're doing it very subtly. I think what they're doing is slowly, as the generation goes on, they are slowly removing or kicking out the opportunity to continue to support physical media. I think they're slowly removing that. So because look, there's really no reason for them to do this. There really isn't. I think the whole piracy thing is a cop-out. I think that's a cop-out. I believe what Sony is doing is that they're purposely trying to make it an inconvenience for gamers to continue to support physical media. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to predict that eventually they're just going to follow the same route as Microsoft is doing. They're eventually going to have a digital-only console, eventually, and they are slowly removing people who support physical media.
What you just said makes no sense. What they're doing is they want people to buy the $500 PlayStation, which has
Go ahead, finish whatever you have to say. I don't know what you're trying to say.
I'm asking you a question. What does the $500 PlayStation have?
Dude,
A disk drive embedded. A disk drive already embedded in it. They clearly want you to buy the $500 PlayStation.
Haven't know.
Clearly.
Haven't know. Who be 186? Do you need an internet to use the $500 console?
To set it up, yeah.
No. I'm talking about for the disk drive. That comes along with it.
Wait, what are you asking me?
Okay. When you buy the $500 console, the one that comes with the disk drive,
Mm-hmm.
do you need internet to use that disk drive?
I think you do.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do. Because
you can play single player games and not have internet.
Yeah, you can, but most games have day one updates.
It doesn't.
And you want to play those games before the day one update?
Look. There's been plenty of times where I don't put my PS5 online and I just play the game outright. I do. Okay. So why is it that they couldn't do the exact same thing with the digital version? Why is it that you don't need an internet for
how are you going to play games on the digital version?
No, you missed the point again.
No. Answer the question. How are you going to play? How are you going to be able to play games on the digital version?
Having a focus. We are talking
No.
about
I'm not gonna lie.
Change it.
No, you need to focus.
No, you need to focus.
Think about this.
Hold on. We are talking about the disk drive. That's what we're talking about.
I don't fucking care about the disk drive.
That's the whole topic is about. No, that's the whole topic is about. You're not making
you don't buy the digital version unless you have the fucking disk drive. The only way you can buy the disk drive if you have the digital version, yes or no?
Oh my goodness, this guy.
Answer the question.
This guy. Oh man. I cannot believe you just said, "Oh, I don't care about that," despite the fact that's the whole point of the topic. I cannot believe
Steve, fucking think for a second. Think for a second.
Gosh.
So with no internet, the digital PlayStation is gonna work? With no internet. Answer the fucking question.
All right. First off, cut.
Yes or no? Yes or no? No. I don't want to hear. All right. Yes or no? I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to.
Don't sit here and tell me, oh, you know.
Yes
don't
or no?
Sit here and tell me, oh, answer the effing question.
Stop deflecting. Stop deflecting. Answer the question. Yes or no?
You are going to cut that out right now. I ain't playing with you.
Answer the question. Yes or no?
You're not doing that. You're not doing that. You could go ahead and curse, but you're sure damn well you're not doing that to me. You're not directing that at me.
You're
not directing that at me.
You're deflecting.
I'm telling you right now.
Okay, all right.
Just slow your roll.
Let me ask you nicely.
Yeah. Ask me nicely. Slow your damn roll.
Okay. Oh no. Now you want to get mad? Here's the thing. How are you supposed to play games digitally? You need an internet. You need internet. You need the internet to use the digital version. So if you decide to buy a disk drive with it, yeah, it's gonna require require something that you should already have, which is an internet connection. So what's the big deal? It's something that you already have. Like you have anything to say?
Look, I already said what I needed to say, right?
You
I already
didn't. You
said what
didn't. You didn't address it.
I already said that what I needed to say because you're constantly focusing on, oh well, you need internet to play digital games when you shouldn't have to use the internet once, because clearly once they buy the disc drive, they're buying physical games, and you shouldn't
They-
need an internet to play physical games.
Steve.
That's the whole purpose. You I don't know why you keep focusing on the on the digital stuff. We're not talking about that. We are focusing directly on the peripheral. We are focusing talking about an extra part. And you should not be forced to use the internet for parts. That's my point. Why I don't know why you keep going back to the digital stuff. We're not talking about that. This topic, this article is specifically about the disk drive, and people are complaining because they're saying you should not need internet for the disk drive.
Steve, can you play digital games on a PlayStation 5 with a disc drive on it?
On either PlayStation, you can.
Okay, so then why is it that it's now a big deal that you have that if you can play? Okay, follow me on this. Okay, follow me on this. I have a PlayStation 5, a disc drive PlayStation 5, because I still buy physical games, but I also play digital games on there. If somebody wants to only play digital games, they can buy either the digital PlayStation 5, which is $450, or they can buy the one with the disc drive for $500. If they decided, okay, you know what, I want to buy physical games now, they have an option for you already. The only reason why anybody would buy a digital PlayStation 5 is if they want to download digital games. And in order to download digital games, you need an internet connection. So if they already have an internet connection for their digital PlayStation 5 and they decided, you know what, I want to play this place games now, they have two options. Both of them are going to cost money. They can either go get the PlayStation 5 physical, or they can buy a disc drive. Either way, they're gonna need internet. Either way, they're gonna need internet. They're gonna need the internet either way. So what the people who are all they're doing is complaining. I don't want to hear what they have to say because all they want to do is complain for the sake of complaining. You have options out there to help you. The options are there. If you're buying a digital version, then clearly you have an internet connection because it's the only way you can actually use it. Are you understanding me?
Yeah. I'm understanding you.
Okay, so do you agree or disagree?
No, I understand what you're saying, but when you say that, oh well, they could just because I think you mentioned something about getting rid of the digital version and just buy the original version. I mean, well, they're still spending extra money anyway, and I don't think they will. And I don't think I don't think they want to go through the inconvenience of because how when you have a console, they probably perhaps want to stay with that console. They have their stuff on there. They probably have an extra SD card. Like, they probably all they probably want to do is just make it easy for them. Just get the disc drive, so that way that they could just put in their disc and play like you can in the original version. That's pretty much all that these people want.
Understood. But if you have that version of the console, which is the digital version, the only way they can be able to use it is if they have an internet connection. So what would be the harm? And if you buy a disk drive, you stick it in there, and what you needed to work is what you already have, because the internet is the only thing that is required for the digital version of those games to work, to download them.
Yeah, but then they asked the question, and Sony, and I think we have to wait until Sony gives us more information about it, which I think they should have done that, because the 10th is around the corner. Like they should address this before the console goes into retail stores. But that's why they asked the question. Well, what happens? If like the internet is down or what have you? Now they cannot use the disk drive, despite the fact that they spend money on it. All of that creates a inconvenience to all the consumers who bought it.
I understand. I understand that to an extent.
Yeah, but which means that the complaint is legitimate, or at the very least the concern, or at the very least the concern.
No, I don't want to hear it, because my thing is that you have other options out there. Now again, we don't know how the internet. We don't know if you need the internet. You obviously need the internet to install it, but do you need the internet connection to actually use it? That's the thing that we don't know.
And Sony needs to address that. They need to address that too.
I mean, if it works the same way as if you had a regular PS5, then I don't see what the big deal is. If it works the same way. If it works the same way, then I don't see what the issue is.
Well, I don't think it's like, for me. I just, like I said, I just don't think needing an internet to to install an extra part for your console. I just think even if you're correct that it's really not a big deal, because you needed internet to use the console anyway. I just find that to be very silly, that you have to have internet in order for you to use it. I just think it's stupid. Whether it's a big deal or not, or people complain or not, I think it's just so silly that it's a requirement just to add a piece of part. You know what I'm saying?
But if that's what you have, then what's the big deal? That's my question. If you already have what is required, then why are you complaining about it? Because if it was something that wasn't a big deal, you would just bought the regular PlayStation 5.
Personally for me, and we can move on after this if you want, or if you want to respond, you can. Personally for me, what I think everybody should do, and I'm talking to everybody. I'm talking to the people in this chat, people in the Discord, wherever it is that you're watching. If you're already a gamer and you love video games, and you trying to buy a PS5, I would just stick it to Sony and say, and look, maybe you're right, Havana. Maybe you're right. Maybe they want you to focus on buying the original version. But for me, you should continue to let these companies know that we care about physical media, and buy the original version. Don't buy the digital version. Don't support it. Don't buy it. Just buy the original version that comes with the disk drive. Let these companies know that we care about physical media. And that's pretty much it for me. Like, what's your last thing?
To be honest with you, when it comes to all those people, all they want to do is bitch and complain for the sake of bitching and complaining. All they want to do is go viral. That's it. If you honestly gave two flying fucks about physical media or whatnot, you would just bought the $500 PlayStation. They're robbing you with the slim digital version. They're robbing you. It's $450. If you want to buy the disc drive, it's $80 more. You're spending more money on that than you would if you just bought the $500 PlayStation. Like, but at the end of the day, most people who are complaining about the requirement are doing so online. And how are they doing it online? Every person who's bitching and complaining, they have the internet. So you can go online, you can go on the internet and bitch and complain, but yet you can't use your internet to install something.
Well, I think
The
I,
same,
I, think,
the same
I
internet
think,
you use.
well, I don't think that's the point. I think it's just the principle behind it.
No, because people don't want to be told what to do. That's it. People
There's
don't want
nothing
to
wrong
be
with
told
it.
what to do.
There's nothing wrong with that. Like I've told you many times that people, and including myself, we want to have control of what we own. We don't like being told what to do. You're absolutely right about that. You 100% correct, spot on. I don't want to be told what to do with my stuff. I don't.
And if that leads you to twirl yourself in the pretzel just so you can get upset, then I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it, because all you're doing is you're just getting upset for the sake of getting upset instead of being logical about the situation.
No, for me, like I said, if I were them, don't buy the digital version. Buy the original version. Tell Sony that you're not going to be supporting this type of BS.
I mean, if you don't want to support this type of BS, don't buy their product at all. Don't buy their product at all. If it offends you that much, don't buy their product.
Well, no, because you still have the opportunity to buy the original version.
No, but but this is what I'm talking about. Like, people bitch and complain, and then you're like, okay, well then move on, and then people will be like, no, I'm good. No, if it literally upsets you guys that much, don't buy their product. Move on. But most people don't want to do that. All they want to do is bitch and complain. That's it. And I have no patience for that.
No, I mean, if you think that they're just complaining just to complain, like the couple comments that we read, those people on Twitter, and people online, and even the guy that you don't like anymore. Like, look, if you think they're all just complaining just to complain, I mean that's fair. Like, if you feel that way, that's fair. For you to feel that way. But again, if they believe that Sony is trying to take more control on these devices, yeah, I don't think they're wrong, to believe in that either.
I mean, look, it's already happened. It's already happened. So it's like what's the point? At the end of the day, it's already happened. It is gonna get worse, but this is not the reason why. This is not the reason why. All they're doing is that if you're gonna buy the digital disc drive, yeah, you need something. You need the internet, which is something that you should already have if you bought the digital version.
That's cool.
So, do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, do it. I already said yeah, I do.
No. Because like I said, I don't think that you like, again. You don't have to agree with me. It's fine if you don't. But do you understand what I'm trying to say here?
I understand completely because what you're trying to say is that there's no reason for you to complain because you have to use the internet by default when you buy the digital console. That's what you're trying to say. So what are you complaining about when you have to use the internet anyway on that console? I understand what you're saying.
Okay. So do you agree with me?
The reason why I don't agree is because that's not the point that they're trying to make. The point that they're trying to make is I should have had it's like I said, it's the principle behind it. They don't want to be told what to do once they buy the disk drive. They don't want to be told what to do. And I completely understand them for that,
Okay. And let me also say this. If they're doing it based on principle, they're admitting that they're wrong, but they're admitting that they're wrong without saying it. Because at the end of the day, if you're dumb enough to buy the digital version, right? Knowing that what it requires in order to have that version, and then when you decide to get a disk drive and now you want to complain because the thing that you already have is required to use it. I can't take these people seriously. I can't take
Well,
these people seriously.
let me ask you this question. One last question. We'll move on to the comments. If let's say you have people buy the digital version and then they buy the disk drive, and then internet is down, and now the disk drive doesn't work, do they have the right to complain then?
Yeah.
Okay.
But here's the thing. No, actually, no. Fuck that. No, because you have a PlayStation. You have a $500 PlayStation 5 available that you should have already had bought. If you let me tell you, I'm gonna tell you this right now. If you buy a digital PlayStation with a disc drive, you're a fucking sucker. You're a moron. Please, anyone in the chat, please do not buy a digital PlayStation 5 with the disc drive. You're a moron if you do. You can buy a $500 PlayStation and not buy a single disc based game. And whatever issue that this thing might have when it comes to the internet, you don't have to deal with that with buying the $500 PlayStation. You won't have to deal with that. So if you buy the disc drive and you buy to connect it to your digital PlayStation 5, then you're a fucking moron. I can't sugarcoat it any other way. I can't sugarcoat it any other way, man. So Nolan, this is the reason why you need digital. You buy the digital version, the downloading games, right?
Yeah.
And Nolan said
I'm assuming that Riddler put ... because of the because the back and forth. But yeah, that was fun. I was laughing in my head when I saw that.
You're not network and have a disk drive or digital, which you need a network. If you don't have it, it's pointless to have a non-disc option. Agreed. The only reason why you would buy a digital PlayStation 5 is if you already have internet. Like, so if it's something that you buy outside of it that requires the internet, then why are we complaining? And the reason why some of these people complain is because they simply don't want to be told what to do. Even if it's something that is required, even if it's the right thing, they still don't want to be told what to do. And those people are people I don't want to talk to. I don't want to hear their arguments.
So pretty much you're not happy that I read those tweets, pretty much, because this is almost the same reaction that you got when we was talking about the Dreamers Pro guy and Jason Willock and whoever. It looks like you were unhappy that I read those comments. Yes.
No, the thing is that what are we complaining about here? It's like, no, the people just want to complain for the sake of complaining, and I'm so over that shit, man.
Okay.
I'm over it. I just got in, so I can't tell if Steve switched sides, but you're now both saying the same thing. You need networking anywhere for patches and firmware updates nowadays. You basically have a computer. That's it. And I agree with that. A problem for you, blame the times. Okay.
Now you're saying yeah,
he's clarifying now. You can say it right here. Like shout out to Ed saying talk about beating a topic to death. That's what we do around here. I see the argument here. I'm with Hoovy.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, that's completely fine. Like, I still think that all those people have a point that they don't want to be told what to do. I think they're more so complaining about the principle behind it, and of you saying how you need internet anyway for patches and firmware updates and all the other stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
look, none of that, none of that matter if you still don't have if you don't have access, to your games anyway. None of that matters, because if Sony decides to shut servers down or there's something wrong with the internet, the disk drive is still useless just as much as the digital version anyway. All of it is useless. You can't use it.
That is the unfortunate reality that we live in, because sometimes these games are going to get shut down. Like servers are going to get shut down, and that is the unfortunate reality of living in a digital age. It is like, it's not something I particularly am happy about, but it's a reality. It's one of the downsides. But digital gaming has gotten progressively more popular over the years. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
All right, so Spider-Man and Dad of War are on Steam. Fred, if you're that mad, go full Master Race.
I didn't know they were on Steam already. I thought. Wait, Dad of War? Oh, he means God of War. He means God of War, right?
Yeah.
If they're on Steam already, then yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know Spider-Man was on Steam so quickly.
No, not Spider-Man 2, the OG Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Why is it digital with the disc drive? I don't understand. What it is that it's an option for people who buy a digital version, and then later on they decide to buy the disc drive, which is sold separately. I don't understand it either, but but it is what it is. Yeah, so I thought digital meant no drive. Yeah, I agree, but the problem is that if you want the drive, if you want the disc drive, then yeah, you can buy it. But the thing is that the Slim is $450, and the drive by itself is $80, which is $530, right? Plus taxes, right? We're not including taxes. But if you just buy the original PlayStation 5, that's $500.
Yeah.
So pretty much what Sony is basically doing is they're trying to nickel and dime you. Pretty much, they're nickel and diming you. If you buy digital, the digital version, the OG, the old PlayStation digital was $400. This one is $450. Right, so they already increased the price there. Right, so you have that. You have the disc drive, which is $80. You have the vertical stand, which is the only version that the PlayStation 5 looks good on. You have that. That's $30. They're nickel and diming you. They're nickel and diming us. That's what they're trying to do. So.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, pretty much. So what it is, pretty much, yeah, you buy the disc, you buy the Blu-ray drive separately. Pretty much. He continues.
Yeah, which is stupid, because Blu-ray players aren't even that much anymore. And again, Ruben, like, okay, like I just took this out, right? So this is I don't know if you can see it, but this is a pretty much an HD or Blu-ray, Blu-ray player, right? This is for my laptop, for my MacBook Pro, because because I still buy physical movies. So all I had to do was just put this in. It automatically installs by default, and we're good to go. I didn't need the internet to do that, and pretty much what people are saying, that should be the same thing for the PS5. You shouldn't need an internet, to install a disc drive.
So that's is that a Blu-ray drive or
I think it is. Oh no. This is the old one. It's a DVD drive.
DVD drive.
Yeah. Okay. So I installed this onto my MacBook Pro, and I didn't need internet to do that.
But were you on the internet when you did that?
No.
Steve, You're not wait. So you don't have Wi-Fi on your laptop?
No, yeah. Of course I do. But was I connected? I don't think I was connected to internet because I have trouble. Because I remember I was on my bed and I was having trouble. I'm always having trouble connecting to my Wi-Fi because I'm so far away from it. Because I'm in my room, so I'm so far away from it.
It is a Blu-ray drive. I do wonder if no, it is a DVD drive. I wonder if a Blu-ray drive, if you need internet connection. You may not, but I do wonder. I
don't think so. I don't think you need the internet to install a Blu-ray drive. I don't think so. I think it works the same way.
Oh crap! Oh man! All right. So Ruben says it's basically people complaining to use a resource that is in a lot of cases abundant and in current certain cases unlimited. It's more than that. If you have a Blu-ray drive, if you have the digital version, and then you decide to buy a Blu-ray drive, the only reason why you would have the digital is if you have the internet already. If you have the digital version of the PlayStation, you should already have internet. Right, and then Rudolphi says he didn't need the internet, so updates just show up in the spirit. So you've never updated your PlayStation at all?
No. There's been a couple of times, that I've updated it because it does it by default, especially when I go on my when I go online, it'll automatically update, by default and whatever, and I'm like, all right, fine. But in most cases, no, I don't hook it up to the internet. In most cases, because I really mainly focus on, because most of the games that I have for my PS5, most of them, with the exception of a couple, are all single player games. For example, God of War, Resident Evil, most of the games that I have, they're all single player. Most of them.
Okay. All right. So let's move on. Oh, are we good?
Yeah, everything's fine.
I don't mean. Look, I don't mean to. I didn't mean to upset you, but you did annoy me with that. With you not understanding basic. What do you call it? Basics. But I don't mean to offend you.
No. You the thing is, what was annoying me was that I felt like you were just focusing on the wrong thing, because I already understood you saying you need an internet anyway if you need to do like that. I don't think that was the point. Like my point was just the the principle behind it and how it's stupid that it's a requirement just for you to add an extra part. Like that wasn't the issue. Like I think people are just saying it's just dumb for it to be a requirement. Like it's just dumb regardless if it's a big deal or not. Like it's just stupid. Like why can't it just install it into your console like any other physical media? I think I think that was the issue. Like I already understood your point.
And like I said, we can move on. Like to me, if you have the means to upgrade it, then there's nothing to complain about. And the thing is, I see a bunch of Xbox dudes making this a big deal when, like I said before, most of them, and I know all of them do, they have PlayStation and they buy the $500 one. So what are you complaining about? Like the one, like I don't have, if I bought the Slim, I'm buying the one with the disc drive because I still use physical media on the PlayStation. The reason why I bought the all digital Xbox is because I don't buy physical games on the Xbox. I just use Game Pass. But if there's something that I needed to install on my Xbox, let's say if it was a extra storage or a disk drive or anything in that nature that required an internet connection, I'm not going to go on the internet and bitch and complain that, oh, why do I need an internet connection for this when I already have internet connection on my Xbox to begin with? It's already there, so why would I go out there? Why would I go up there and complain? And part of the problem that annoyed me is that I know a lot of people just complain for the sake of complaining, and I know they're not I know they're not serious about it. I know they're not serious about it. They're
So you're
just
saying they're just
complaining
doing it. So you're
for
saying
clout.
they're just doing it for clout.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least that's how I see it. But I just want to know that we're good. You know what I mean? Like I do apologize. I'm not interested. We've been arguing too much for the past 2 days. even for us, we've been arguing too much.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. No, like that was the only thing that irritated, like, because like I understand you saying, you wanna, if you wanna use foul language, go ahead, but like I just didn't like it when it was kind of directly, at
No,
me. That's where I
okay,
stopped.
and I apologize for that.
Yeah, I apology accepted.
Okay.
All good, all good.
Let me see if I can connect. Let me see if I can go on Twitter real quick. I can only do it on the web now because Microsoft decided to delete my Twitter account, my Twitter app. So out of nowhere. So that's great. But we are going to talk about gaming. Like, okay, so originally it was supposed to be about Bungie, and we're still going to talk about Bungie. But I know Ruben, shout out to Ruben. He sent you an article regarding Ubisoft layoffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think he didn't he say other game company layoffs also.
I don't think I have those. I know you had one of them, but I don't think I have those.
Okay, so in the meantime, while I look this up, you can talk about the thing that Ruben wanted to talk about real quick. Let me try to set this up so I can search this out quickly.
Okay. Oh no, this is the wrong one. Oh crap. Because this one was about the mods. That one's for next week. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, just let me know when you have it shared.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find it. Hang on a second, guys.
I found that part. Let me see if I can.
Let me see. Okay, here it is. Bear with me, everyone. Let
Are
me
you
let me
ready?
upload it. Yeah, bear with me. I'm just loading it up.
Okay. Let me see. Where's my internet? What's my thing account? Okay. Just let me know when you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready now.
All right.
You got yours?
Yeah. You just oh, you gotta share. You gotta share.
All right, can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. So this is from Kotaku. So once again, Charmaine, big shout out to you, bro. He let me know about this, and man, before I start, like I want to say to everybody, listen, I really do appreciate how you guys would bring articles, whether if it's if I knew about it or not, because I know Ruben, you do it, Malta, you do the same thing, Critical Drop, you do the same thing, and other people also, shout out to all of you, for doing that. So whenever you guys have a topic and you want us to talk about it, Randy does the same thing. Riddler, you've done it before. Like, trust me, they all be considered, And when we have enough, time, we will all put them in the podcast. What I usually do, I would bring it up to Huey's attention, and then we decide if we going to talk about it. But if we don't, I pretty much let you all know beforehand. Okay, so Ubisoft using AI generated Assassin's Creed art amid cost cutting. Okay, now for the sake of time, let me read this. It's already 11 o'clock, and then I'll give you my thoughts. So so this was a couple days old. Happy Halloween. Ubisoft Netherlands invite you to celebrate a spooky hold on. Okay, here we go. Okay, so people first began to notice some of Ubisoft's social media channels posting what appeared to be AI generated versions of Assassin's Creed art last night. A smooth over off-brand Ezo emerged in a French publisher X, formerly known as Twitter, account for Latin America. And other amazing industry news, here is an official Ubisoft account with 300,000 followers posting AI art tweeted. Forbes contribute to Paul Tassi. The publisher post was mocked for making Ezo look like a Fortnite character. Okay, whatever. Hold on, is this the hold on. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, here it is. So the tweet says Ubisoft literally conducted layoffs this year and last month, and they are posting AI art. He says unbelievable. What the hell is the gaming industry is doing right now? And trust me, I'm going to address this fairly soon. Not to be outdone, however, the Ubisoft Netherlands account followed up with its own AI looking easel art complete with Jack O' Lanterns, which Ubisoft game is perfect for this horrible evening. He's asked the question. The account asks Dutch, clearly the Assassin's Creed maker was playing with fans' hearts. Okay. Ubisoft recently revealed that over 1,000 people have left the company in the last year as part of its cost reduction program. Some of the departures were voluntarily, but others included layoffs across customer support, marketing, and other departments in Europe, the US, and elsewhere. Ubisoft literally conducted layoffs this year and last month, and they're posting AI art, tweeted film concept art. Reed Southern, unbelievable what the hell the game industry is doing right now. Let me see if there's anything else. Okay, here's more. Still over 19,000 people continue to work at Ubisoft, including many devoted just to the Assassin's Creed franchise and all of its sequels, spin-offs, and other incarnations currently in the pipeline. Surely one of them could have made some art for social media accounts, or the company could have just used one of its many existing Ezo images. Anything that would have been preferable to posting ugly AI generated crap, as thousands are laid off across video game industry this year. And look, and to me, I understand that people want to start using AI. People are talking about using Chat GPT, all this other stuff, right? And having AI take over and things like that. To me, before I continue reading on, look, I've always said I do not like the fact that robots, AI is taking over people's jobs. And I remember the conversation I had with you, Huey 186, and Randy said the exact same thing on Ryan Meadows, where he said, well, in certain aspects, it does bring convenience, like when you go to the grocery store and whatnot. You mentioned how in some cases, AI, robots, whatever, brings convenience, and it's actually good for the consumer. But to me, if it's going to cost somebody else's job, I don't think that is something that we should constantly be embracing. Not only this is happening across the board. This is happening with the video game industry, and I know you don't really read comics. I know you don't follow the comic book industry and all the news that what's been happening with them. But a lot of these writers, they've been going on strike. And
Yeah,
go ahead.
remember Hollywood, they had the writer strike. I think that's resolved now. But a lot of the reason why they went on strike was because of the same thing, AI.
Yeah. And you see, that's the issue here. The thing is, if you're going to use AI, you can't. It's like, I don't know how I'm going to say it, but it's like the emotion, isn't there. I think it's easier for you to make. I honestly think that the quality of the product can, somehow get compromised when you don't have, people. And at the end of the day, I just don't like people losing their jobs just for the sake of AI. Because clearly all this really shows to me that companies, they don't care about you at all. These corporations don't give a crap about you. If because at the end of the day, it's no longer about, we're losing money, this and that. No, now you just purposely want to save money because the profit margin is still there. The profit margin for a lot of these companies are still there. They're still making money. I don't want to hear anything about you lost money or the business is going down. The only reason why you're going down is because it's saving you money, because now you're using the AI. You're using the AI, but it's not because you're losing money. You just have the opportunity to save more money. And if that means people have to find other jobs, regardless if they are doing game development, writing scripts, marketing, like I cannot support that type of practice. I can't. But yeah, do you have anything to say before I continue reading?
You mentioned how AI could ruin something, right? Now, this is when I was watching like videos about the GTA trilogy, right? Because after I had to stop crying myself to sleep after I spent $60 on it, I decided to do some research on it, right? Why did the game underperform? Not underperform as far as sales go, underperform as far as like quality goes. Why is it that a team full of pros can fuck up something that people who do it on this, pretty much on the side with the mods that they tried to kill, can do it perfectly? And this is one of the reasons why.
Okay.
I'm gonna read this portion right here. Some assets were improved from the original games, while others were ultimately rebuilt entirely. The team used an artificial intelligence program to upscale textures before making manual adjustments. Producer Rich Rizzuto estimated over 100,000 textures were changed. Now, we've seen videos of how the game looked. I talked about how Grand Theft Auto looked.
Yeah.
Right? The machine learning technology that they use, the AI technology that they use, they fucked up more words and stuff in that game that they did not catch. That they didn't catch.
Okay.
And it didn't improve the frame rate, which is still garbage, which it should not have been garbage. They still effed up the AI in those games were always not that good, to be real with you. But the games were not an improvement. And when you have a situation like this, there has to be an improvement, and they weren't. And part of the reason why they one is because of developer laziness, because part of the reason why that they use AI and they kind of they didn't proof check it. They didn't proof check it.
Yeah.
So like I know you were mentioning Ubisoft. Clearly, the AI that they're using is to lower costs. Is for it to be cheaper, because these games cost a lot of money to make. And if they're going to use AI as a way to make the game cheaper, it's always going to have your negatives and your positives. Always going to have your negatives and your positives. As long as it's done correctly, I can't really hate on them for it. Even though, people's jobs are going to get lost, and which is unfortunate. But yeah, you can continue. You can continue on.
I thought you was gonna go more in depth
of
what the article was saying in the because that was very, I didn't know about that. I didn't know about that.
Let me see.
The one that
Okay,
I just posted.
I think that was from. I think that was from. That was from Wikipedia.
Oh, Wikipedia.
Okay. All right. In addition, the navigation feature was implemented using pathfinding as well as analysis the routes taken by the non-player characters. Though it requires some manual adjusting, the team found these implementations to be an easy win due to the existing technology. They were dead wrong about that. They're wrong about that.
I can't see what you're reading.
Oh, my bad. Let me share. So I'm on Wikipedia. They're kind of explaining more about the thing that they're using, right? So what was that at? They wanted the definitive edition to run smoothly across all platforms while taking advantage of the higher end hardware. That didn't happen. Let me see, what else did they use? Yeah, I think that's it. Like you said, we've talked about the game already. Like I can't begin to tell you what a big pile of shit that game was.
Yeah.
I got hoodwinked because I'm a huge GTA fan, but they went the lazy route with it. It is what it is. There's really nothing I can do about it. I can't return the game, so I can't resell it because but when it was released, it was only available digitally, so I can't return it. So
Yeah.
no, it is what it is. But anyway, you can continue.
All right. So fans, let me see. The company had just won. Okay, I read that one already. Thousands of layoffs across the video game industry this year. Yeah, thousands. That's a lot. And fans have become increasingly more religiant in 2023 about companies trying to pass off AI generated images in their marketing, as they'll E2, Mid-Journey, and other AI text image models make it easier than ever to cobble together fake art. Amazon did it to promote its upcoming Fallout TV show. It sure seemed like Nutanix did did it to promote upcoming content of in Pokemon Go. Legendary Studio, Gibinsley, I don't know how to say it. Director Hideo Makazaki calling AI art tool an insult to life itself. Back in 2016 was never felt so prophetic. Yeah, like so, like to me, like okay, like how you see here. Like, do you see this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. The next big wave, or the next big wave of video game layoffs is here, and this pretty much gave an update. I'm not gonna read it. I just pretty much want to say this.
I have a list.
Is that what happened?
I have a list.
You have a list?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me get to it. Okay. Let me share this. Can you see this?
I see my stuff.
Oh, my bad. Oh yeah. All right, my bad. Okay. These are the list of companies that laid off workers this year. Just in the gaming industry.
Yeah.
Now I'm only gonna read the one that I'm sure you've heard of, or ones that I've heard of. right? So Telltale Games,
Yeah, I know them.
Twitch,
Yeah,
Naughty Dog, Creative Assembly. I've heard of them. Epic Games.
yeah. Wow,
I
Epic
mind you,
Games.
Epic
Epic
Games. And
Game
now,
is
mind you,
huge.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
go
Mind
ahead.
you, they make a little game called Fortnite. You know that game? Yeah, they were here layoffs. Blizzard,
Roblox.
Roblox,
Yeah, I know them. Yeah.
Crystal Dynamics,
Wow.
Visual Concepts, VentureBeat, Gearbox Publishing,
BioWare.
BioWare,
What?
CD Project Red, Embracer Group, the company that bought the company that bought all those developers, all those publishers, all those IPs from Square Enix. They got hit with layoffs. Let's see. Devotion Studios, Ubisoft. We just talked about them. Unity, Phoenix Labs, which I've heard of. Waypoint, Ready at Dawn, which is a pseudo PlayStation studio. Bungie, which we'll be talking about them later. Take Two, Gameloft,
Yeah.
EA, Meta, which is the Facebook gaming thing. Riot Games,
Yeah,
Bethesda
Meta.
Game
Yeah, for
Studios.
Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah. Riot Games, Bethesda Game Studios, The Coalition, 343, GameSpot,
343.
Giant Bomb,
Wow.
and NetEase.
Holy crap! GameSpot.
Mm-hmm. How many games? How many? Oh, wait, hold on. And we don't even. And we have studios that actually been shut down, like Volition
Oh
Games.
no! Oh, you got to read that. You got to read that. What in the world?
Volition. Well, some of these I don't know, but Pony
No, but
Human.
it says over 80 gaming companies and media
Yeah.
sites have been hit with layoffs as far as the list can be read below. Like 80 companies.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, which is the list I read below, right? And these are game studios that outright closed down. Volition Games, a Cyber Connect 2 Montreal, Antimatter, Campfire Cabal, Colo Games, Pixel Opus, which is they made some PlayStation games on there. And like this has been going on throughout the industry. But the one company that I wanted to concentrate on is Bungie.
Okay.
Right? And I'm not gonna go too deep into it. But Sony bought Bungie, I want to say last year, for $3 billion. They bought them. Now Bungie, they're the original creators of Halo. They make the Destiny games, which a lot of people like. I don't. But Sony bought them. Now Sony bought them not because they wanted to make exclusive content, because fuck that. No, they wanted Bungie to navigate Sony's games as a service model for some of their upcoming games. So we bought them for $3 billion to be a consultant. And yet this is who consulting the other PlayStation studios. 100 layoffs. People bitch and complain about Destiny 2. These are the people who are consulting your PlayStation studios.
I cannot believe this.
Bro, when I get to that PlayStation video that I plan on making, bro, you won't trust me. But even with all that, let's go to this tweet right here. This is from Paul Tassi, right? Now, he Jason Schreier, he had broke the news about the layoffs, right? Then Tassi did some digging, and this is what he came up with. This is what he said. The layoff decisions came directly from Bungie management, not Sony. Because in the beginning, a lot of people thought that Sony was the one that directed it. This is not about Sony replacing Bungie employees with their own people. Many employee benefits, though not health insurance, only last until the end of the month. If you're let go, laying off people on the 30th means that a single additional day of coverage. Now, they did this on the 30th of November, and whatever benefits they get only lasted one additional day. So this was strategic. This was something that they already had planned,
Yeah.
and they chose the 30th to do it. They might as well just pissed on me and been like, "Okay, get the fuck out of here." They might. At least then I would have had at least some acknowledgement.
Okay.
Many employees had unvested shares as a result of the Sony purchase. These shares would be received based on staying with the company for a certain amount of years following the sale. So if you had what I think what this is, and look, you're more into the whole stock market thing than I am, right? So I will lead. So I want you to correct me if I say something wrong.
That's fine.
Now, if they had unvested shares, right? Then they can those shares grow in the years to come after the purchase, right? Which is what they were told if
Yeah.
they stay for a certain amount of years. But those shares revert to Bungie if you leave, even if you're fired, which is what's happening now to many of those affected. So pretty much what happened was the shares that they were promised that if they stay, because remember when Sony bought Bungie, they made it known that they did not want people leaving the company. They wanted to buy the company, but they wanted to keep. They made a strong effort to keep everyone who was already there at the company. Because when you have mergers, you always have people who get laid off and all that other
Yeah.
stuff, right? Sony made it very clear that they didn't want no one. They didn't want no one getting fired. They didn't want people leaving. But they also treated Bungie like a third party studio, so they let them do what they want. You spent $3 billion, but they let them do what they want, right?
Yeah.
So, so the people in the company, so there's some members in the company, invested their shares with the idea is that when they eventually leave, they'll be leaving with at least some sort of nice uh severance package. But since these people got fired, all those shares go back to Bungie,
Ooh.
and they get nothing. They get fired, and that's it.
Ooh. Ouch. Ouch. All the money that they
And
invested
and
in
I don't
gone.
normally do this. I don't know. I
Okay.
don't normally do this, right? But I'm not a person, and I'm not a person who call for boycotts or do boycotts or nothing like that. It is not in my nature. But I will be damned if I ever buy anything from that bullshit company Bungie ever again. Ever. I don't even like your I didn't even like your Halo games. The 343, they make better Halo games. I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
Okay.
You can come at me. I don't give a fuck about you Halo 3 dipshits. Halo 4, 5, and Halo Infinite are better games. Ah shit, my internet going out. Are we good?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Hey, okay. I think yeah, Halo 5 and Halo Infinite are better than Halo 1, 2, and 3. Come at me. I'm just joking. But I want nothing to do with this company. The fact that Sony bought this company is one of the many reasons why they've been in the shitter lately. You put all your money into this stupid fucking company, and what has that gotten you? It got you nothing. He got you nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, good. You get to make revenue. You get to make revenue off of Destiny 2. Fuck that game. Fuck Destiny and fuck Destiny 2. Garbage ass games. So
what happened to the
I
art?
ain't
What happened
touching
to the
nothing
article that you
Bungie
had?
does. Let me see. Close. Okay. Oh, actually, let me read. Let me read this.
Yeah, I can't
Let
see
me
it
see.
though. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It should be on right there. Share this tab instead. Oh no, my bad. No, wrong one. Share this tab instead. Okay. Bungie employees knew that Destiny 2 Studio was struggling, but might not have expected the recent massive layoffs of roughly 100 staff members. It's according to a new report by Bloomberg, which details a meeting earlier this month in which the company leadership blamed poor player retention following 2023 disappointing Lightfall expansion for revenue going off a cliff. The money Bungie was bringing in was reportedly running 45% below projections for the year. So they had a because you know how when companies they have like a certain number that they have to reach as far as like how much money they make, right?
Mm-hmm.
And normally when they normally fall under that mark, either people get fired or people get laid off. Or let me put it to you like this: either CEOs get fired or employees get laid off. So because their game, I guess people weren't feeling the expansion. They were hoping that expansion would make them the right amount of money for the year, but it didn't. They were down almost 50%. All right, so let's see, is there anything else? No, it's done with everything else.
Well, hold on.
But again,
You read that?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. No, you read the last two paragraphs, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The money, yeah. Let me see. Where are we at? Bloomberg reports that the final shape, which Bungie has been hyping up as the cinematic conclusion to Destiny 2's current storyline, was getting good, but not great feedback internally. As a result, the decision was made to delay it from February 2024 to June in order to try to win back players. And Extraction Shooter Marathon was delayed as well to 2025. I think those two things were debunked, but
They
but
were.
ultimately, yeah, I think they were debunked. But ultimately, this is the company that Sony thinks could lead their multiplayer projects, and to me, I'm like no, because I don't like Destiny, and I don't want every fucking game they make to be like Destiny. They can't even keep their own shit in order. Like, well, I'm don't worry, I have a PlayStation video coming up, and sometime later I will address all that around that time because I
So,
there's a couple studios connected to Sony that I don't fuck with right now.
so are you
So go
more
ahead.
It seems like you more upset of the future of where Sony or Bungie is heading more so than the layoffs, right?
Well, okay. Let me put it to you like this. Now, obviously, I will never ever cheer for layoffs. Layoffs are awful, but ultimately they don't affect me. All I care about is the product. And I seen one guy. I'm not gonna name his name, but he's one of these guys. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard the term toxic positivity?
No, no, no.
You ever heard that term before?
Yeah,
Let me tell
toxic
you what
positivity.
it
No,
is.
I
Right?
never heard of that before.
Toxic
No, but
positivity.
who's the guy that you're talking about?
He, I fuck it, he's not gonna watch anyway. It's some guy, some black dude named Paris, right?
No. Okay.
He's in the gaming industry, right? Like I see him around. He mainly I feel like he's more of an Xbox dude more than anything else, but whatever. Right? He's one of those dudes who I feel like his opinions are not genuine. He seemed like somebody who will just go with the popular opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if like he like a couple months ago he said, "Oh, this probably is the greatest year in gaming history." You know, whatever it is, what it is. I don't agree, but whatever, it is what it is, right? And then when he hears about some of the layoffs, and he's like, "Oh no, no, it's not the best year. It's not the best year in gaming history because of all the layoffs." And for me, I'm like, that's dumb because what matters most is the products.
Mm-hmm.
What makes gaming great is the product. Yeah, it's nice. It's cool that there's some cool people in it. But I'm gonna be real with you. When I think about Metal Gear Solid 2, I'm not thinking about whoever designed. I'm not thinking about the art designer. I'm not thinking about the sound guy. No, I think of one guy. I think of Hideo Kojima. That's who I think of.
And
When I think about
some of
Fight
the
for New
voice
York, I'm
actors
not.
probably.
No, yeah. Cause and again, all that stuff is needed for a game to work. I'm not denying that. But I'm not thinking. But their health in the industry, I want them to do well. But if your game sucks, I'm not gonna give a flying fuck what you're doing. I care about is the product, and if the product is good, then I'm good. Do I want the industry to have all these layoffs? No. Well, ultimately, the only thing I care about is if the games are good. That's all I care about.
Yeah, but if what you're saying if you only care about the games, you still need like you have said regarding to your job and anybody else's job, you have always said over the years, it's important to have good quality people in order for you to have good quality products. And if people are working less, or if people are getting laid off, that can compromise the product overall. So we should always try to embrace the fact that we have workers or good quality workers working in the industry that we care about.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think that the problem is that the industry is being dictated by CEOs and publishers. I would call them managers who don't know what the fuck they're doing. And
Yeah.
I have managers at I have a GM at my job that I know for a fact he has no fucking clue what he's doing. But he's the manager, so it's like, what am I gonna do? I can only do what he says, even though I know he don't know what the fuck he's doing. And I guarantee you, there's so many people who work at jobs when it comes to having either CEOs or managers who don't know what they're doing, who have no clue what they're doing. And when you have these guys running the industry, the decisions that they make, all the fuck up that they make, trickles down to the developers, and they're the ones that suffer at the end.
Yeah,
they're the one that suffer at the end. But here's the thing with Paris. He's talking to I guarantee he talked to. I know he has a close relationship with Phil Spencer. Right? You want to call out Phil Spencer for releasing that dog shit Redfall the way he did? Right? You can easily kiss his ass, but when it comes to everything else, where's the accountability? Because at the end of the day, I know you don't. At the end of the day, you don't care about that. I know you don't care about that. But for me, so when I say someone who's toxic positivity, it's someone who is overly positive in a time when there's nothing to be positive about.
Okay.
Right? It's like someone who always thinks that there's always someone who thinks that their team is good when it's obvious that their team is bad. And they'll come up with any excuse in the book to tell you, oh, this is good, there's nothing wrong with this or whatever. Someone who's overtly positive for the sake of being overtly positive. And I remember one time, I don't mean to babble on about him. I don't hate him, but I think he's kind of there's certain stuff I don't like about him. But he went on and said he didn't know if someone buying Death's Door for $15 was a bad thing for the industry because it had come out on Game Pass, and I think the developer mentioned that he wasn't happy with the sales of the game because he released it on Game Pass. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, oh, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing that people won't spend $15 on a game. I'm like, are you fucking stupid? Of course it's a bad thing if people are not going to spend $15 on a game. We got games that cost $50, $60, $70. Yet you have people making the decision not to buy a game because they already have access to it. It's that stupid shit like that annoys me. But when it comes to these gaming layoffs, man, this stuff is gonna happen, especially when you have AI, coming up, and the AI technology is only gonna get better. It's only gonna get better, and if it gets better and it makes things easier for developers to make these games, then it's gonna be more and more. It's gonna be more and more prevalent.
Yeah, but at the same time though, people have been saying this over the years of how jobs will get taken away when it comes to the video game industry, the comic book industry, and even when they mention like animes and movies and even music. I mean, hell, look at the direction of where they even have. I don't know if you've seen this, but maybe you have. But where they even had freaking exotic robot dancers, to where I personally, for me, I believe that I think it's starting to become, when it comes to AI, it's just becoming way too invasive in my opinion. And when you by having remember, when you have AI that's generating these arts or video games or whatever, or scripts and stuff like that, you have to remember, or even music, there's no emotion behind any of that. Like you know how when people say, when you hear someone reading from a script, or when you hear somebody singing, or when you see someone dancing or whatever, or even in the comics, when you read a comic book, it pulls you in because you feel the emotion behind it. When you feel the person putting the passion behind a game, or to a song, or to an artwork, or to a script, you feel the emotion, or the passion behind that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but you feel the emotion behind it. And there are just certain things that the AI will never be able to accomplish, because they obviously they don't have the consciousness when it comes to the emotion behind these games, or behind the music, and behind the artwork. Like, it's just not going to happen. And I honestly believe, if they do end up taking over more and more and more and more and more, there is going to be, to me, there's going to be some level of an empty void, because now the emotion isn't there. Or when there's mistakes that needs to be made, you still need the people there. The same, you think what happened with Grand Theft Auto you think that's going to be the last time it's going to happen, if they relied so much on AI, instead of people who actually studied the stuff and put all the experience into it? AI is never going to develop experience. AI is never going to develop any type of emotion behind the work. That's us. I honestly think that all the strikes that has been happening, over the years in any industry. I don't want this to be just be. I know we're mainly talking about Bungie and things like that, but I'm just saying overall. That's why I'm including, movies, the comic book industry and all this other industry. If these people are going to continue to go on strike, yes, I do think we should, in some way, shape, or form, support them, because I understand your point that you have to you care only about the games. But if you have at the very least
Let,
some level of compassion of these
let,
people
let,
getting
let
laid
me
off and
rephrase
losing
that.
jobs, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm not going to. What I'm not going to do. I'm not going to boycott. I'm not going to cry over it. That's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to cry and moan and whine about it. That's not what I'm going to do. Like, I'm not going to be dramatic about it. Like what's his name was. Like Paris was. Like I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
It sucks what happened, but like I said, but that's the extent of it. And I do think part of the problem, like you said, AI is going to be more prevalent. But I also think when you have CEOs who make millions upon millions of dollars making these awful decisions, but yet they don't suffer because of it. They don't
Yeah.
get punished because of it. It's always the developers that do. It's always the developer that suffer, and because the reason why, because you always have these companies who are always chasing trends. They're always chasing trends. That's what there was a game that off the top of my head they were doing. They say, oh, Battlefield. The Battlefield developers.
Yeah.
They were chasing trends. They didn't want to make a game that already has staying power. They forgot all about that. They knew they wanted to make a game that would like how would I say it? They what they wanted to do, they wanted to make a game that would rival Fortnite instead of making a game that they already was known for making, which is the Battlefield game, which is some of the best games ever made, especially first person shooters. But they said, you know what, fuck that. We're gonna give you specialists, which didn't fit the game. We're gonna make the game buggy as fuck, and we're going to pretty much ruin the franchise. All because they wanted to chase trends instead of being original.
Yeah.
And like I said, you don't have to be original, but don't, if you're gonna chase trends, then you're asking for it. And if you're the CEO that decided to do it, you should the only person who should be losing money is you. The only person who should be getting a pay cut is you.
Yeah.
Because you sabotaged them, and now they're fucked you. Now they're gonna get they're gonna lose their jobs, and yet you're gonna keep yours. It's horseshit. Complete horseshit, man. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much done.
Yeah. All right. My bad. I do have one quick question that I do want to ask you. And
Go ahead.
how do you feel? How do you now? This is just the whole totality of it. I'm including everything in this. About how do you feel of people saying that the only way for us to to make a change is not just vote with our wallets, but because I remember you mentioned you even said it here that you're not going to boycott or whatever. But don't you think that in some level, maybe we should be, because people are saying that we should be obligated to to boycott certain things, because otherwise it's still going to affect us in a negative way in the long run. Like, for example, people have always talked about, years ago, people have always told me, oh, we have to stop constantly relying so much on Amazon, constantly stop relying so much on Amazon, because if we rely on Amazon too much, it's going to affect us negatively. And we've seen examples already where malls are getting closed. a lot of businesses, are getting, shut down or whatever due to online marketing or whatever. And when it comes to, the AI, and when it comes to movies and voice acting and the comic book stuff, and as long the people are saying, as long as we continue to, support these things, um, it's going to continue to go into the direction of where more and more jobs are being lost. So I think my question to you is, if you understand that point, do you think we should be obligated to join into the whole boycotting stuff and continue to vote with our wallets and not support it? Or you think we should just, well, it is what it is. As long as the game is good, as long as ordering stuff is convenient for me, like, who cares?
I mean, I can only go by what I'm going to do. I'm not going to go by what the masses want to do. I'm not supporting Bungie because I don't like the company. They've never made anything that I liked, and and part of the reason why I could remember, I don't know if you remember, it was a long time ago. So I made the video criticizing Naughty Dog, right? And part of the reason why I criticized Naughty, because the reason why I criticized Naughty Dog was because of the whole situation with fractions, the online multiplayer, right? And part of the reason why I decided to, I was pissed off was because it was Bungie who reportedly told Naughty Dog that the game wasn't up to snuff, and that's
Yeah.
why they had to. That's why they had to either put it on ice, or at least in my opinion, they canceled it without saying they canceled it. And you have the nerve, then that fucking company had the nerve to tell Naughty Dog that when they've made better games than Bungie's ever made.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sony bought these fuckers for $3 billion to consult these companies, and the games that they make are games I don't give a shit about.
Yeah,
Like
when
when
it
you're
comes to Bungie, they're making
yeah,
games that you don't care for. Yeah.
yeah, I don't give a shit. So why would I be happy that they're the ones that are in charge of the multiplayer game that's coming out on PlayStation, when their multiplayer game I don't like at all. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's part of the reason. Part of the reason why I'm boycotting them is because I don't like them.
Okay, because you don't like them. Okay.
Yeah, because I don't like them. And if you're gonna do something that annoys me, and do something that scummy like what you did with some of your employees with the tweet that I read, then that just solidified that I have no interest in supporting your company.
Well, one last thing. To be fair, when it comes to Bungie, and like overall, even before the merger with Sony, or Sony being bought, there, was there really that many games that you were interested in outside of Halo?
That's from Bungie?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So I think, I mean, I understand partially why you're upset, but when you really think about it, most of this merger is pretty much irrelevant to you anyway, because it's only Halo is the only game that you really care about. Like you don't care about Destiny or Marathon and all the other games that Bungie makes.
Yeah, but the problem is, not if they were just third party, I could just ignore them and never talk about them. But now they not only are they in Sony, but they are now in charge of what multiplayer, what some of these companies are going to do with their multiplayer.
Okay.
And it's like okay, it's like and I'll put it to you like this: it's like the teacher you don't like being upgraded to be the principal. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like it just like bro, like I don't want them dictating what these companies are doing with their multiplayer. And just all the other stuff is just icing on the cake. So
Okay. All right. Well, that's it for me.
yeah. If we combined the two podcasts, it would have been 6 hours.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Okay, so let's read some comments and get out of here. All right, so Critical Drop, what's going on, bro? Rudolphi worst nightmare if Tears of the Kingdom wins goal of the year. And Ruben said that it will win. Ryan Miller,
Look, I've been hearing that, since almost nearly, well, ever since the game came out. I've been hearing that from Seafring. I've been hearing that, from people on, whether it's on Twitter, on YouTube. The game is going to run. The game is going to be game of the year. Now, I'm going to say this: as much as I'm a huge Zelda fan, if what you're saying, is true on Hoovy 186 about, the game, doesn't run well. I mean, I didn't really, I haven't really, gone through that really. But if people are complaining that the game, doesn't run well, it doesn't deserve to be game of the year. I mean, I know that that's going to hate and be a shocker to some people, but if the game is not running well like it's supposed to, if you have multiple people complaining like the same way as you have, no, I don't think it should be a game of the year. I don't. But most likely it's going to win anyway. So I personally think I personally think it probably should be Resident Evil, but you made it clear that because it's a remake, and Seafring said the same thing too. But I think
no,
you
I
also
just, I
mentioned
just,
Spider-Man.
no, I do think Spider-Man will be a contender. I don't think it'll win, but I think it'll be a contender. Like obviously we don't know when. Like we don't know because they haven't announced the nominees. But if I had to pick a game that could win Game of the Year, it probably would be Baldur's Gate 3, from what I heard. Because I know a lot of people talking really like that game. They really like that game. And the reason why Resident Evil 4 I don't think is gonna make it is if it was in a slow year, I think it'll make it. I think it'll make it. But in a year where he has so many great games come out, then I think I just don't think I don't think it'll make it.
Okay. So you think Baldur's Gate will even be able to beat Spider-Man also? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So
Would you
Ruben
would
said,
you would you would you ever try the game? I highly doubt you would.
no, it's not my type of game.
Okay.
There's no November 31, so that means you had that day to use those benefits. Well, actually, no, I meant October. I meant October, and October has like 31, so they have one day. Nolan said that Dice saw the industry change and wanted to keep up. They should have stayed with their play, and gave you outlandish cosmetics. I never experienced it not running well. I think he's talking to I think he's talking about Tears of the Kingdom. Liza
Yeah.
P is cool, and Starfield.
Starfield.
I don't think it's gonna win. I don't even think it's gonna get nominated. But if it does, I don't think it's gonna win. I don't think it's gonna win.
Yeah, there's just been too many far, complaints, of the game. Like personally, for me, a lot of people feel what I hear, what people also say is that, I'm playing the game just to sightsee, is what is
Hmm.
is what people are saying, and that there's really not that many that there's really not that much activity going on. And if that's the case, I mean, I never played the game. I do want to try the game out, but I know for a fact that that game is just going to take so much of your time, and I just don't have that type of time to invest in a game like that. It's bad enough to try to invest in games like Zelda and other games, but Starfield, I can't. I don't think I'll be able to. But do I think it's gonna be nominated? I don't think so. I don't think so. But I disagree with you. I think I hope Resident Evil 4 at least gets mentioned. So who knows?
Okay. All right, but on that note, let's get out of here. Let me do a roll call. All right, obviously Nolan, thank you for watching, bro. Ruben, thank you for watching. Ryan Meadows, thank you for watching. Critical Drop, thank you for watching. Rudolphi, thank you for watching. I know you be lurking, so I know you be lurking. Ed Gonzalez, thank you for watching. Malta, thank you for watching. F, thank you for watching. Rosemite, thank you for watching. Whitney, thank you for watching. And is that it? I think
Did you get?
so.
Wait, hold on. I could have sworn you missed somebody.
I don't think so.
You got F?
Yeah, I got F.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but
Okay.
thank you for watching, though. So, all right, so we're now caught up, right? We have some topics on Monday. Hopefully, Dolphins win Sunday morning against the Chiefs. I don't know who
You honest now. Look, you honestly think that they're going to beat the Chiefs?
Why wouldn't they?
Come on, man.
Why wouldn't they?
You think they're good enough to beat the Chiefs? Are you?
Yeah.
Are you only saying that because they lost against Denver?
I mean, they lost to a bad team, didn't they? So why can't an actual good team beat them?
I think they just didn't take Denver seriously.
Well, that's a personal problem.
I just think they didn't take him seriously. So
that sounds like a personal problem.
I mean, yeah, it could be. It could be. Dude, I mean, now as far as me, do I think we're going to win? I don't think so. I don't think we're going to beat
Who you guys playing?
The Chargers. I don't think we're going to beat them.
Come on, Chargers stink. You should beat them.
I don't know. I don't think. Well, I mean, the Chargers. I think they've gotten better. I think.
No, they didn't. They lost last week.
Then they aren't. But I think they're what?
They're 2-4. Are they? You have a better record than they do.
I think they're 3-4.
I mean, regardless, you have a better record than them. You should beat them.
Yeah.
You guys have no offense. But you guys should beat them.
Yeah. If we don't have no offense, then I don't think we're going to win. But yeah, I think the Chiefs is going to win. I think the Jets is going to lose. And I think the Green Bay Packers are going to lose some more also.
Man, Ruben, I feel bad for you. I'm lucky because I get off of work, so I'll be up when the game is played. But I mean, bro, I'll be leaving the house at the time for work. Oh man. Well, at least you'll be awake.
Oh, that's right, because you're freaking in Seattle, so you have to wake up extra early, dude. Ooh.
Well, I mean, he's gonna be up for work. And I'm just gonna be leaving work, so I should be okay. They lost to the Broncos. They can lose to the Chiefs. I think he meant if they lose to the Broncos, they can lose to us.
Yeah,
they can.
But I also do think part of the reason why they and like we have to go, but I'm gonna just say this one last thing, real quick. What I think is happening right now with the Chiefs, this is just speculation. It seems like they're treating Patrick Mahomes like how the New England Patriots treating Tom Brady. Oh, you're a good quarterback. You can make everybody better. So you don't need elite wide receivers. And I think the same thing is happening with Patrick Mahomes right now.
Yep.
They don't have not one to-go guy wide receiver in that squad. They don't.
They have Kelsey, and that's it.
Well, I mean, wide receiver, yeah, but
and they have a good defense. But I think we can beat them. I think we can beat them.
Okay, we'll see. Are you gonna watch the game?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like I said, I'm gonna be sleeping the rest of the day though.
So. All right. Well, anyway, it's late. I'm going to get some sleep. I have to work in the morning. I have to try to work out early before work starts. Mm-hmm. So once again, you guys, thanks for watching. Please share on Facebook, Twitter, IG, Snapchat, whatever it is that you guys use. It will be greatly appreciated. Give us a like, and we will continue to make more content for you guys. Once again, this is the Traditionalist 101 signing out. Have a good one.
And let me read this one last thing from Ruben. I can't lie. I need a Game Pass. Haven't caught a Fins game all year, or can only watch on Monday and Thursdays.
What does Game Pass have to do with your Dolphins?
No. I think he's talking about he needs like something to watch the games on. And I think I think if you go on NFL Network, they might have something for you there. Something like that, maybe. But yeah, man. It sucks. I
Oh,
don't.
that's right. That's right. You're in Seattle, and you know what? You know what's funny? When I was in, look, I don't know all the different cities that don't have a team, because once again, when I was in Orlando to watch Dave Chappelle, yeah, they didn't show the Dolphins games up there. They didn't show any Dolphin games, and what's weird, you would think that maybe we'll probably have a Jacksonville game or a Tampa Bay game. No, they didn't show any of those games either. We had some weird odds and then, type of game. I know we watched, the Dallas game, and I forgot what other game that we watched. But yeah, like the same thing happened, in Orlando also. So I know what you mean. I know what you mean with it.
Yeah, I'm not. No, let's get out of here. All right, later, guys.
All right, there.